Hello, hello, welcome everybody. If you are watching the replay, hello, sorry, first, this is James Malins live, and today we are talking about the pathway to peace. So, hello everybody. I thought I was going live, so I've kind of just jumped immediately straight in. Within a second, you've got me. But anybody who is watching the replay, just know that I love you very dearly. Thank you for being a part of our community still. Even if you're watching the replay, you are very much with us right now and right here. So thank you so much for tuning in a little bit later on. We're going to be live today for 3 hours and 33 minutes, and we're going to be talking about the pathway to peace, which is ironically titled the exact same as David Wilcock's last live stream, and that is for a reason. So I hope you enjoy the broadcast, the live stream today, and I look forward to catching you a bit later on. So, right, welcome guys. It is yet another Sunday. We are on our 7th live stream on the 7th of June, and it's the 6th month. That's a shame. It could have been 777. Wouldn't that have been really something? So, let's come over to our main camera. Welcome everybody. It's lovely to be here again, once again with you. We've already had a little bit of a chat beforehand in the comments over there. So, Asana, Mama, Yelena, Linda, welcome Linda. Thank you for coming back. Absolutely lovely to have you here. Sally, welcome Sally. Thank you for being here. Gail, Leilu, Bradine, Bevy, Katie, Colin, welcome for being here. Thank you for being here, Colin. Welcome. Let's have a look here. And Danny, welcome. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I hope that today is beneficial to you. We have a bit of a process, so we'll go through our little introduction so that you know exactly what you're going to be spending your time with. And then we're going to get straight into it. So we kind of go through everything we've gone through. And just give you a good idea of what you can expect. We're going to be doing a few meditations today, so we're going to be activating that meditation effect just like David used to. We're just going to be spending time together, having a chat, a conversation about restoring planet Earth, the great global garden, and of course, as we have with this title for this week, is the pathway to peace. Now, some very, very interesting things have happened this week, so I'm looking forward to share with you. Lydia, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Anne, thank you for being here. Anne, it's an absolute pleasure. Joie de vie, hello. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to today's live stream. Greetings and blessings to you, your family, and all Starseed Lightworkers around the world. Lovely. Thank you so much for being here. Blah, welcome. Sorry, Blah, I didn't get to your name as I was scrolling up. Thank you for being here, my friends. Very, very kind of you for tuning in. So lovely. I think we have a couple of new people who are joining us, so welcome. Thank you for being here. If you haven't seen any of my last video explaining about what we're doing with David, then know that we have a really lovely community here. You know, David gathered the best of the best, and if you're here with us, then just know that that is the case. Could you please turn your audio up? Absolutely. Can you guys let me know? On my bar, it's we're in the yellow mark, so can you guys let me know? Is the audio okay? How are we sounding? Are we crisp? Are we clear? Let me know how it is, guys. So, X-Ray, Mark, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. It's very kind of you to come and spend your time. David, Coron, howdy, my friend. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Lovely, guys. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you again. We're all set up. We're ready to go. We've got our singing bowl over there, ready for our meditations. Oh, bless you. Hold on, I've just... Zorin, thank you so much for the donation, Zorin. That's really, really kind of you, especially to start the stream. That's really lovely. Thank you for supporting me with these videos, what we're doing. It's been a pleasure. And I want to say again, so from the support last week, it really, really is truly gratefully received. You know, this is it now. I'm here with you full time. We are on this mission of exploring the return back to the great global garden. There are some really interesting things I want to share with you this week on what I feel is the how. Karina, bless Karina if she is here yet or not. She had a really lovely suggestion that she sent over, so we're going to be exploring that. And so, Zorin, that's really kind of you. Thank you so much for the donation. Bless you very much. Very kind of you. Free Queen, welcome. Thank you for tuning in again. The Netherlands is in the house. Thank you for being here. It's very, very kind of you. Amazing. So yes, it's been a very interesting week, guys. There's been a lot of I've done quite a few posts. I've tried to sort of make the posts a bit more positive online. We were kind of rallying the people the last few weeks, so it's been very liney, very passionate, very fiery posts. But there's been some really positive news, especially with some of the pushback against AI data centers. We've had some interesting responses to a post that I did about people getting 2.5 acres of land. So we're doing some stuff here, guys. Ever since the very first live we did 7 weekends ago, so 7 Sundays ago, we did our first ever live. This is our 7th, isn't it crazy? Absolutely crazy. So what a pleasure for you guys to be with us, to come and join us. It's been absolutely lovely. So Brizzy, Tree Dog, welcome my friend. Thank you for coming to join us. Prince Royal, thank you for being here, my friend. Absolutely amazing. Gail says crisp and clear. A real creation, welcome. Thank you for coming to be here this Sunday. Aston says clear, albeit slightly quiet. Interesting. So we really are quiet, aren't we? Didn't like that. The bar went down completely. Not a fan of that one. Soul Coach Suzanne. Right, okay. Okay, guys. Are you ready? I thought we might have a little bit of other time, but I have an announcement to make. And that is Happy Born Day, Soul Coach Suzanne. It is Soul Coach Suzanne's birthday today. Soul Coach Suzanne, you're 60? I know you're 60, but I'm just double checking. Should I have shared that? Sorry. I don't know if I should have or not. And I might have completely ruined it, my dear. I'm very, very sorry. But a lovely, young, beautiful, crisp, 60 years of age. So thank you so much. I wish if everybody could wish Soul Coach Suzanne a happy birthday, that would be absolutely lovely. And just out of curiosity, is it anybody else's birthday? Because it would be great to celebrate each other. 60 years young, absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure. We should all be living until we're, a lot older than the age that we are at the minute anyway. So what is age? Doesn't matter. So yeah, happy birthday, Suzanne. Pleasure for you to be here. Absolutely lovely. Annie, thank you for being in. Wonderful. So yeah, isn't that lovely, guys? We're able to really celebrate each other. I hope you like the little confetti, little celebrations that I put up here. So isn't that nice? So listen, guys, if in Asana, no worries at all. We're still on the entrance, so you're right here, right on time. You've nailed it. You're right with us. So yeah, Brizzy, welcome again. Karina, welcome, Karina. Thank you for tuning in. Anne, again, yeah, happy birthday, Suzanne. Born day. I know a few people that they feel little bit different with birthdays, born days. Some people don't want to celebrate birthdays at all. I kind of get it. Like, why should we celebrate us aging? We're eternal, immortal beings here on Earth. So yeah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you again. So amazing, guys. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing all that love with Suzanne. Isn't that beautiful? Beverly, welcome. Thank you for being here, Beverly. Absolute pleasure. Right, guys. Well, so especially for our new attendees, again, guys, it's such a wonderful thing to have you here. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's have a look at what we're doing today, some of the discussions that we are going to have. So today's topic is the pathway to peace. Tell you what, I can check with me. Let me just have a little audio check. And whilst, so what I'd like to do, before we get into this actually, guys, I'm just going to post out, almost forgot about that, I'm going to post out all my little notifications to everybody. So if everyone just gives me about 60 or so seconds, get yourself nice and relaxed. We're going to be here together for 3 hours and 33 minutes. So we're going to be spending quite a chunk of time together, as usual. So I'm just going to post out all the little thingies, let everybody know that we're live. Maybe some other new individuals would like to tune in with us. Wouldn't that be nice? So just posting it out here. If you're getting 1,000 notifications, just know I love you very dearly. If you're joined in on all the communities, your phone's gonna be certainly getting it right now. So thank you for your patience, guys. Just making sure that one's absolutely fine, actually. Post it there. There we go. That's lovely. Last one. Give it a post there. Beautiful. Right, we're all good to go then. Okay, let's come back over here. Back to OBS. All right, guys. Brilliant. We're ready to go then. Okay, so just pop that in my pocket. Got a little bit of music channeling in the old ear. Keeping me keeping me level and ready to go. So I have also changed the latency today because I wanted to try and make sure that it's a little bit more in alignment with when you guys are chatting. You know, I want to be able to chat with you pretty much at the same time that we're live. So I'm pretty sure we're a lot less seconds this time. So it's about 15 seconds, which isn't bad. Wood Pigeon, been here the whole time. Thanks for being there. I love you all. Love you too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Isn't it a pleasure to have your comment? Thank you so much for dropping a comment. It's very kind of you. It's always amazing to chat with you guys, you know, to know who's in this community with us, who's present. It's not expected, you know. Sometimes, you know, I know what it's like just to want to have a watch. It's nice to engage with each other. So yeah, thank you for doing that. Very, very nice. Right, guys. Each born birthday is just another lap around the sun, absolutely. And Soul Coach Suzanne says, yes, I'm in another very awake group that calls it Born Day. Either is just fine with me. Just being in gratitude for all of you, caring and honouring me. It's my only way to celebrate. Well, Suzanne, you know, I've been there. You know, I know what that feels like. So, you know, I hope you feel the love from all of us today. That's the beauty of, you know, one of the beautiful things of technology. We can feel what we can feel about technology, but, you know, it brings us together. And I think that's really fantastic. So, right, okay then, guys. Let's come back over. We're all good to go. We've notified the people, and we'll see who comes over to tune in with us. So today's live is all about the pathway to peace. Okay, this was David's last live stream, and I feel like I'm going to have a bit of breakdown of everything that's happened over the past 7 weeks. I felt like this was an appropriate title. So, as usual, David, brother, wherever you are, here or there, respecting and honouring how everybody feels about the situation. Thank you, my friend. I was watching 2 of David's live videos just before this while I was doing a little bit of preparation, and what a beautiful soul. Thank you, my friend. Whatever people believed about David, there was a lot of beautiful things he shared, a lot of heartfelt, loving space that he provided to people. So, you know, that's always that feeling. Right, so guys, look at this. Isn't this wonderful? It's so amazing to see this page starting to get fuller and fuller. So those of you who have just tuned in, this is our 7th live stream. We've been live 6 times before this, of course. We've gone through the Whirling Rainbow Prophecy, part 1 and 2, the Global Garden of Peace, and the Unification of Humanity, part 1 and 2. And obviously today we are on the Pathway to Peace. I don't know whether this will be a 2-part. We try to get through what we can. So, again, just a pleasure for you to be here. So, okay. I almost had a mini heart attack there because I thought that my slides weren't right, but it was an image behind it. So, in last week's live stream, we talked about my mother's very curious dream about, you know, being at home and opening the airing cupboard door, which is quite funny, and seeing a whirling rainbow portal. This was my mother's dream, so if it's a little bit far out there, bear with us, guys. You know, dreams can be wacky and wild. I don't know many people that have basic dreams. You know, they're often quite out there, but I thought it was very interesting, you know. So she felt her mother on the other side. She said that I was stood next to her, so just found it very curious, you know, very interesting. So we had a look at the 2 amazing lightning strikes. Guys, I didn't get a chance to edit the videos, but for those of you who are wondering what this is all about, we had an insane lightning storm here, and I got about 10 videos of the most amazing lightning strikes, so I thought I'd share that with everybody. We went through the rise and fall of different civilizations: Sumeria, Rome, Arcadia. We went through Teotihuacan, we went through Khmer, many of the different civilizations, and then the rise and the fall, and the reason why they fell, which was often due to deforestation and monoculture agriculture. This is very important for modern times. Okay, for modern times, intensive agriculture is everywhere, and particularly monoculture agriculture. So that's exactly what we're talking about reversing. Diane Lupo, 444. We miss David, and very grateful for you to carrying on the baton. It's very lovely of you to say, Diane. Thank you so much. We do indeed, and it's, as you say, it's lovely for us to come together and continue to honour David. So, thank you very much. Just over here in the bottom corner as well, this little image. I know they're small, but if you can see that, we are also going to recap the past 1,000 years of history in the United Kingdom. We did explore a little bit about that, the Enclosure Acts, and what happened with the people having their land taken from them, and which obviously opens the door on how we take our land back. Now that of course goes across the entirety of the world. So if you're from America, New Zealand, Canada, wherever you are, Australia, we've got to start having this conversation. So Teddy, hello Teddy, welcome. Thank you for coming to spend this time with us. Absolute pleasure. We also, yep, of course, so we looked at the Enclosure Acts, the open field farming system, which was from before, and the of course we went back over the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was kind of the main highlight of last week's live stream, just closing that off. So yeah, Just a Setting Sun, still a beautiful name, remember it from last weekend. Thank you for being here, absolute pleasure. Danny says from the UK, again, it's good to have you here, Danny. Again, in the comments, guys, let us know where you're from, because we have got some new individuals here. Let everybody know where you're from. It'd be a pleasure to know. I know we've got a lot of lovely souls from America, quite a few people from New Zealand, Australia, all over the place. It's absolutely amazing for us all to join in. Crisea, welcome back. Thank you for being here. What a lovely pleasure. Amazing. Thanks for the catching us up with slides. That's all right. I like to do it, you know. It's kind of like maybe it's just my insane organizing mind. You know, like everything is very organized with my brain, so I like to keep us there. Sue Skidmore, Carolina, welcome guys. Rudy, thank you for being here. Sue is from Missouri, USA. Welcome. Carolina, thank you for being here. Welcome. Mark from Newport News, Virginia. Free Queen from the Netherlands, like David, but the one in Europe. Love it. Carnegie, welcome back from New Zealand. Beautiful. Leilu from rainy Texas. What an absolute pleasure. Teddy, welcome. Thanks for being here. Amazing, guys. Beautiful. Breathe Light. Greetings from Northern California. Thank you for coming back. Absolute pleasure. So good, they named it twice. Yep. Absolutely love it. Maria from North Carolina, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying hello. Tom, welcome back, my friend. Greetings from Nanaimo. Nanaimo. You'll know, guys, that I'm, I've got a... It's you get to put on the spot when you're doing these things when it comes to pronunciation. You'll have to let me know if that's right. From Vancouver Island. And thanks, James, for your work. It's my absolute pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being here. You know, it's like I say, guys, you know, we always talk about this. All of this stuff is nothing without you guys being here. So, you know, for you to come and spend your time is truly an honour. Always will be, from the beginning till the end, guys. Love you too, Free Queen. That's a lovely comment. Thank you for that. And Danny says, yes, I appreciate knowing what you've discussed. Thank you. Beautiful. That is why I do it. So, yeah, that's a really nice confirmation there, Danny. I appreciate that very much, my friend. You know, it kind of like when new people come... David Wilcock could never pronounce my name. Well, Yelena, I have a lot of Eastern European friends, and I know that for a lot of different countries, the J is a Y. So I got you covered. Philip from Texas. Welcome, Philip. And Soul Coach Suzanne, love from Chester Springs, PA, Philadelphia. It's not Philadelphia, is it? Where's PA? I actually don't know what PA is an abbreviation for. Victor, welcome, my friend. Greetings from Los Angeles, California. Beautiful. Absolute pleasure to have you here, my friend. Great. So, yeah, that's, it's when revisiting lives, it can be a bit like, what have you, there's already a community here. What have you guys been talking about? So I want to try my best to make you... Pennsylvania. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I want, everybody who comes in to feel like they can get a bit of up to speed quickly on what we're chatting about. So, right, that was last week's live stream. So for this week, obviously this is number 7. So what an amazing thing to say. The 7th live stream doing our global peace meditations. We're going to be talking about the entire planet being given legal personhood. What about that, eh? That's now, ain't that a topic of discussion? We ain't just talking about a mountain or a river, guys. We are talking about the entire planet. Now, I have some very interesting things to discuss with you. Did you know? I'm going to let you look in my eyeballs for this one. Did you know that there are over 500 initiatives of countries, tribes, communities, and peoples making it a legal, binding agreement, referendum? I have to double check my wording there. That certain ecosystems, mountains, rivers, prairies, forests, woodlands, that are given legal personhood. So that means they have rights as a person. They have rights as any other living, breathing individual. And I find that amazing. So we're going to be discussing that today. I have quite a few examples. Again, this was actually Karina, really lovely friend of mine. She sent me over this link and it kind of got me really interested. And so I thought this would be an amazing topic for today. So yeah. Deborah says Pennsylvania. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, I've got that one covered. So, yes, I'm actually about an hour from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Lots of wooded forest land here. Love that. Absolutely love it. Karina, welcome. Yeah, you are here. Sorry, Karina. Yeah, I know you are. Kia ora tatu. Karina, toku ingoa. Kia ohope Aotearoa ahau. I'm so sorry that I have probably butchered that pronunciation, but thank you so much. I had to Google a lot of the names just to make sure I was going to pronounce them right, and you can probably guess that I'm not going to. But with your patience and and understanding, I appreciate it. Absolutely no worries. Hello, Rick. R4, Rick, sorry my friend, just double check with me. I want to make sure I've got your name correct. Welcome. It's no pleasure. It's no worries. We haven't jumped into anything crazy just yet. We're just going through our usual intro. So yeah, pleasure for you being here. So right, okay. Oh, blah. Hello, Yelena from Bosnia, Rudy from Belgium, Sue from Missouri, Breathe Light from California, Queen from Netherlands, Carnegie from New Zealand, Leilu from Big Texas, and Tom from Vancouver, Maria from North Carolina, and Brizzy. Love it. Thank you for sharing that out. Appreciate that very much. And Rick, thank you, my friend. Brilliant. Right. Okay, so let's come over here. So, big conversation today. Let's talk about the entire planet being given legal personhood. If we're talking about a forest and a mountain, I have no problem with thinking and talking at the absolute highest levels. We've already all come to an agreement that if I live and die a delusional fool, then I have absolutely no problem with that. But in the meantime, we're going to think as big as possible, as high as possible, as beautiful as possible, and as free as possible. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Whilst we're on that note, guys, if any of you haven't already liked the stream, just don't forget that when you click like on the stream, it helps new people to find us. So if you're willing, please hit that like button. It would be an absolutely fantastic thing for you to do, and I would appreciate it dearly. Karina says, pretty close. Appreciate that, Karina. I've probably got a bit of a way to go before I'm fully there. So tonight we will be doing 5 meditations, roughly every 42 minutes for the 3 hours and 32 minutes. So for those of you that have come before, we've reduced that from 7, just so that we get into the content a little bit more as well. In tonight's live stream, we are going to finish our exploration of the 1,000-year history of Britain, the land grabs, and what happened with the agricultural practices in the United Kingdom. We are then going to explore the amazing work of indigenous peoples who have reclaimed legal personhood for many of nature's natural ecosystems and how that ties in with our movement and what we're talking about, guys. So very excited to go through that with you. And finally, we will begin exploring the idea of the pathway to peace and how we can form a movement, spelling mistake, sorry, which unites all peoples, nations, and creeds. So, as we've talked about, one second. Deborah says, smash the like button for James and his channel. It's very kind of you, Deborah. Thank you so much. I just realised I never checked the audio. Let me have a look here. Our exploration of the 1,000... Alright, seems pretty crisp. Seems pretty good. Brilliant. Okay. Let's keep going. So, the meditation schedule. So, yeah, take a sip. I do have a really nutritional smoothie today. So... there's going to be no chance of me passing out like there was a couple of streams ago. It was quite a hot day, and I don't know what was going on, but it was stifling. So no, we're going to be good today. That is a really, really lovely smoothie. Okay, so first meditation will be with David. So as usual, we will go to one of his live streams. This one today is going to be the teachings of initiation before the big one. And the meditation is at 3 hours, 50 minutes and 9 seconds. So again, if you guys want to go through these meditations privately as well, all you have to do is come back here and you'll find the exact time that it is for you. I found that out. 3 hours, 50 minutes, 9 seconds. We will then go into our second meditation, which will be focusing upon positive events around the entire globe. I really feel like there are a lot of positive things happening. You know, we had Italy that banned the lab-grown meats, although it's questionable with a lot of high-level politicians. You know, you kind of gotta edge your bets, but it's still very positive news. Got some interesting things with the Native American peoples. So silly of me. I have no problem from being completely honest with you. I have slightly forgot the name, although I did literally post it today. But I've got that for you, so we'll check out who it was that has pushed back against the AI data centers, which is just fantastic news. You know, keeping the land honoured. And so again, I sit here and I think maybe there's a pathway for us to, you know, take the crown to court, stop it here in the United Kingdom by making it so that the entirety of the United Kingdom or the planet has legal personhood. You know, again, if it's done small scale, why shouldn't it be done big scale? And I always feel, I'll come over here just to chat to you guys about this a second. I keep saying to people that I know for a fact that those individuals who are a part of these, you know, hidden families, those people who are communicating behind the scenes, you know, the World Economic Forum, we've got a lot of people who are very public there. When these people are in a room together and one of them says we want to destabilize Bosnia or we want to destabilize Ecuador or we want to interfere over here, none of them are saying that they're crazy. All they say is, okay, how do we do this and what do we get out of it? You know, so I want to take that spirit of limitless potential. I don't want to take anything else from what they're doing, can I just guarantee you? But I want to take that spirit of limitless potential and I want to talk in terms of no limitations. I believe that we can unite every single human being on this planet who is in alignment with goodness and decency. You know, some people aren't, they're not going to be bothered about this, but a lot of people are. You know, a lot of people are going to want to be a part of liberating this planet. A lot of people are going to want to be a part of restoring this beautiful planet that we live on, and I trust in that. You know, and again, if I live and die a delusional fool, then so be it. You know, we've got to go down this path. Let's have a look here. Free Queen says, good for you. I'm going to go for a decaf latte night now. Beautiful. Like, decaf's a good idea. You know, we don't want to be zinging. So I've also got a little decaf coffee here thing. It's just a little one that we've got. So I mean, look, coffee isn't the best thing in the world. It's kind of like my naughty sort of pleasure. So, you know, it's just a bit of a coffee. Prince Royal says, most of lab-grown food comes from a certain small country, apparently. Interesting. Would you share? I obviously did a post on the information about that, but I didn't hear about where it was particularly focused. So yeah, very interesting. Danny says, I can't drink caffeine. Yeah, trust me, I don't blame you. I don't blame your body, because caffeine is, you know, it's clean energy is something I am very much behind. You know, I do like green teas. Matches are quite nice. You know, it's good. Linley, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Sunday. I love that. Sans Motel, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. You haven't missed a lot. We're just doing our recap, so you're right on time. Don't worry about that at all. Mark says sounds better. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you letting me know. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Great. I think we've said hello to everybody. Nicole, I'm just going to say hello again. I might have already said hello to a few people, but welcome, Nicole. Thank you for tuning in. Asna says, a friend of mine taught me that if you buy canned or packaged foods, there is a code system. Interesting. Oh, I see. Is that... let's have a look here. Anyway. Love Barnes, hello, welcome. Is this your first time as a part of the stream? If it is, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've been in before, then thank you again anyway. It's a pleasure to have you here. So brilliant. Thanks for coming to spend time with us. All right, guys. The small country in question is what David would refer to as... I see. I get you. You know, yeah, it's so interesting. You know, there is a lot of stuff that is going on. You know, do you know what's ironic? Just a slight note here. With a lot of the things that are going on with the wars that are happening with America, and, you know, if it's, you know... I know David was very careful of the words he used in case it... I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter. People are doing videos on it. But, you know, the wars with Israel and things like that, like, it's, you know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But, you know, again, the conversation we're having, I need to educate myself more on that before I go into it. But I get what you're saying completely. So, yeah, but we're talking about very, very powerful things, guys. We're talking about restoring planet Earth, our sovereignty, freedom, future for our children, you know. So that stuff, it's going on, but, you know, we're on this. We're absolutely on it. Tom says, I disagree about coffee and whether it is good or bad. When the mainstream media says coffee is bad, I do the opposite. Then coffee must be good for us, balanced. And I agree with you. Look, you know, we're living in life as well, and there is, of course, that energy where, you know, everything at some point could be bad. So, you know, we've also got to follow our hearts and what we enjoy with things. So yeah, I totally get you, Tom. You know, air is going to be bad at some point. You know, so we got to. I get you. I get you too. So right, okay. Let's just finish off what we were talking about with our meditation. So our second meditation, first meditation with David, second meditation for positive events around planet Earth. Our third one. Again, with your beautiful permission, guys, I would like to share my I am with you prayer right in the middle. So we'll do that one for the third one. The fourth one, I'd like to do a global peace meditation for a future of free, happy, and healthy children. I think that's a very important thing. I think that's important to a lot of people as well. So that's what I would like to do for the fourth one. And finally, we will close off today with the exact same meditation from David. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I like to sort of start the meditation with David, finish with David, and I think that's a beautiful way to do it. And of course, after each one, we can share one thing we're grateful for and one thing that came to us through the meditation. So, yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you. So I wanted to go through this video. Now, hold on a second, because I need to make sure that this is going to come on. So one thing I wanted to share, I said that I would get this video last week, and I think it's really powerful. Now, it's quite a long, well, it's not super long, but it's like 4 or 5 minutes, so I will shorten it slightly. But this is a video of a gentleman who's dancing. You know, he's just going for it. You know, he's not bothered about what people are thinking. Or I'm not really a dancer. I like salsa. I've done quite a bit of salsa, but I'm not like sort of a free-form dancer. I kind of like structure with my dancing. But this guy's going for it. He's not got a care in the world. He's loving life. He's absolutely free as a bird. And he's dancing by himself. And I want you to see what happens. A lot of you will know what this is, but I want to show you for any of you who haven't seen it. So let's just come over here to YouTube. I'm going to mute it as well. We never know with DMCA with things. We'll just double check that. So this gentleman here, he is the camera guy's, you know, he's I think he's dancing with him. But this video here, this guy is just going for it. It's a little sort of party festival. You know, he's by himself and he's joined by another guy, right? So he's by himself, then he's got this guy. They start engaging with each other, are having a great time. You know, they're just going for it. They're, you know, not bothered about what people are thinking. A lot of people at first are going to think they're silly. They're going to look at that guy and think, oh, you know, he's dancing weird. What's he doing? But he's not bothered, right? He is not bothered. He is just going for it. So they both join each other. Just going to come forward a little bit. So then after those two are dancing, a third person joins, and a fourth and a fifth, and a sixth, seventh, and then we get up to about 10 people, and before you know it, right, look at this, before you know it, everybody's joining in, yeah? So it took one person, okay, I'll get through the comments in a second, guys, that's really funny, right? So this one guy by himself, right, he's just doing it by himself, and all of a sudden, everybody comes to join. Now, you're going to ask yourself, all right, James, why are you showing me this? What has this got to do with what we're talking about? Look at this in the end, right? Look at this in the end. How amazing is that? Absolutely amazing. I personally love this video for multiple reasons. And I love this video for multiple reasons because when you're talking about something that is far out there, right? You're talking about something that's far out there. You can look like a fool. You can look like an idiot. You can look like you can be by yourself, yeah, for quite a while. You can be talking about things and people say, that's never going to happen. You know, that's just total fantasy. You're off your head. Utopian delusion. You're an idiot. You know, it's complete nonsense. But if you persist, right? If you persist, if you stand in your truth, if you stand in what you believe, if you look at the world and you see a path forward and you know that that path will lead to a future that is beautiful and wonderful and powerful and incredible and abundant and free and liberated, then do that dance, speak that talk, walk that walk until we make it happen. All right, this beautiful gentleman here who's doing just, he doesn't care. People can cast shade, they can say, look at him on himself, what a weirdo. They can cast shade, but eventually another brave soul will join you. And another brave soul, and another brave soul, and another brave soul, until you have populations of countries standing by your side. So I say this to you now, because this is what I believe. I believe that we are going to talk about this, and we're going to continue to talk about this, and it will dissolve every plan that the shadow intention, the people with shadowy intentions have. I believe that it's going to dissolve every single plan that they have. I believe that you will unite tens of millions of people to the cause that we're talking about. The restoration of the Great Global Garden, every single square inch of our soils, the restoration of our family and our people back onto our lands. I believe that as you and I start to talk about this, as we sit here and we unite every weekend and we go into the histories, we explore this possibility, we explore these potentials, we are going to create a movement, we are going to create a philosophy and idea that will not be stopped ever. You know, if something happens to me or if something happens to somebody else who's talking, it doesn't matter because it will start to build momentum and it will be incorruptible. Okay, we are talking about families being given back 2.5 acres of land so that they can grow a forest garden which restores our soil, our ecosystems, the quality and abundance of our food, our sovereignty and freedom, which we are desperate to get back. Okay, we are desperate to get our sovereignty and freedom back. The vast majority of us, we're either struggling or we're having to work 9 to 5, 12 hours, 6-7 days a week. We're having to pay our taxes, our bills. We are controlled and manipulated by people in power who should not be there. Being very passionate and fiery here. Woo! You guys feel it? Damn. What's in this coffee, guys? We have spent far too long enslaved by conquerors and individuals who absolutely care nothing about ourselves, who we are, and the well-being and the welfare of ourselves and our children. Right? So when I say to you that ever since the past 7 weeks that we've been having this conversation, ever since our beloved David left the public eye, whether he's here or not, otherworld or in protective custody, you know, Yelena, love you. I know, I'm with you still. You know, I just want you to know I love you. I know we had that conversation. You know, whether he's here, if he's gone, then we will make sure that every single thing that he stood for, we continue and persist in, because there is a path. Okay, there is a path forwards, and that path, I believe, is through the unification of the people under one unanimous, obvious and beautiful idea. Okay, and like I say, a lot of people are going to think that, nah, nonsense, you know, idiot, never going to happen, they'll never let it happen. That's fine, we will dance. Okay? Yeah, we will dance. We will dance, we will look crazy, we will look stupid, we will look delusional, and we will look foolish. But already, well, I haven't had to dance alone, because you guys have joined me within moments. You know, I spent the first 3 weeks before the awful news about David, I spent that 3 weeks preparing. Then we started to do this live, and 7 weekends later we are here, and the idea is developing. I've got a few more things to show you. I've worked on 4 of the 7 pages. No more coffee it's decaf coffee, Karina. This is pure passion right here. This is pure passion, Karina. This is fire. There's a reason why I have that lion tattooed. So we will do this dance until it is done. You know, I really feel, I mean, I don't know, I haven't double checked, but it was 5 million views I had within 7 weeks. You know, people are listening, guys, right? They're listening, they're coming, they're asking how. You know, so we're developing this how, we're developing this idea each time that we come together to chat. So, right, I know I've been going for it, so let's get let's get back to a few comments here, guys. I just wanted to share that with you. You know, I'm very, very passionate about that. Let's have a look here. Free Queen says, good. Gotta love the good guilty pleasure. We're going on about that. Yep. Coffee chocolate, coffee ice cream, beautiful. Let's just have a look here. Prince says James doing the cha-cha. Yeah, I did salsa for a long time, guys. I haven't done it so much now, but it's yeah, I'm a big fan of salsa. It's a really beautiful dance to learn. Prince says, I remember this video. Blah says, I love it. I would have gotten up too, absolutely. X-Ray says, that's freaking awesome. Karina says, how free. Snowball effect, absolutely, guys. As Asana says, the positive vibes are contagious. Without a doubt. Prince Royal says the Maharishi effect. Yep, I'm here. I'm with you. Danny says Tingle's watching that. Yeah, that's important, my friend. You know, those things that, you know, when we get those little goosebumps, when we get the hair standing up, that's when we're feeling that truth, you know. Tom says it takes nothing to stand in the crowd, but takes everything to stand alone. It does indeed, you know. You got to be willing to not care about what people think. But at the same time, you know, look at the beautiful people who have come forwards with you guys. You know, you spend this time with us. You're here with us. You're extremely gracious with your comments, extremely humbling with the things you say. So, you know, it's I said this last weekend, and I'm going to say it again. You guys very much are that foundation. You know, you're that foundation for me by keeping my energy positive. It's a lot of work, guys. I mean, Monday I try to sort of slow down, but from Tuesday to Sunday, I'm on it, you know, constantly. So I really appreciate you guys. Wood Pigeon says, love this video. Yeah. Isn't the song I'm going to be unstoppable? Possibly. I did mute it just in case. It would be awful for the stream to get muted because of the copyright. Carolina says, say it, James. Deborah says, folks be coming together and having fun. Their energy is being sent to Mother Gaia. Absolutely. Somebody did mention about grounding. I don't know whether it was Prince Royal or apologies, whoever that, but I agree with you too. You know, barefoot. I always try to ground every day. Joie de Vie says, love it. I'm with you guys. Bradine says, love the fire. Love Barnes, life as they design is exhausting. It is. Love Barnes, absolutely. You are completely right. The way that humanity, modern society has been designed is exhausting. You are absolutely right. That's a really important thing to say. And this is why, when we're talking about this 2.5 acres of land, this forest garden, this Garden of Eden type environment that isn't delusional. Yeah, we've already been through 4 of the 13, 14 forest gardens in the United Kingdom, not to mention those that don't publicly admit what they're doing. Yeah, they are showing what they're doing. You know, in this space, the environment is incredible. It is beautiful. You know, and this is where we're going. Tom says, Trailblazers, Pathfinders begins with the first step. And yes, James, build this community and I am all in. I love it, brother. I'm with you. Wood Pigeon, perfect message. I appreciate you guys very, very much. A lot of comments came in there, guys, so I'll try to get through a few, but we'll get it. Okay. James, not sure what your sign is, but you speak like a fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm born in November 27th, and I'm a Sagittarius. Is that fire? I'm pretty sure that's fire. Is that fire or is that earth? I'm frequently educated on astrology, but I haven't memorized it myself. It still is really funny what you said about no more coffee. There is no coffee. This is pure. This is pure passion, guys. Oh, I thought you was a fellow Leo. Well, it's weird, bro. I mean, you'll see. I have a very strong affinity with lions. Have done for a very long time. There's a lot of curious energy with lions. I know we discussed the mystery of the white lions. So for anybody who's new, the mystery of the white lions by Linda Tucker. The mystery of the white lions by Linda Tucker. Hold on a second. I might. Haha! Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Right on top. There you go. The Mystery of the White Lions by Linda Tucker, Children of the Sun God. Right there. Somebody take a screenshot if you will. Capture that. Have that present. This book, very interesting. Alright. My brother Lucas, he's probably not able to tune in today because he's off working like an absolute trooper, keeping us going. He bought myself and Annie that book, and I've read it cover to cover. Really incredible book. You know, Linda Tucker's a very interesting woman, and there's really interesting stuff with that. Lydia says, I'm Sagittarius too, fire sign. There you go, guys. Makes sense. Free Queen says, Saggy, this full moon was very close to your sun then. Interesting. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm assuming if it's close to the sun, then we've got some Icarus stuff going on, although don't know how I feel about that, because I still don't not really the biggest fan of the story of Icarus. You know, I want to fly into the sun, not be afraid of having my wings burn. What are your moon and rising signs if it's not too personal? I wouldn't know. Annie might. I don't know if she's I know she's watching at the minute. She might know, I'm pretty sure. I know that I'm Scorpio in the Ayurvedic, so I'm close to Scorpio, I believe. You'll have to forgive me, guys. You guys will have to let me know. But yeah, that book. So Danny, definitely recommend that book, my friend. Really curious. You know, very, very curious. Colin says, establish a moneyless global community where all goods and services are free. Absolutely. Well, this is the beauty, my friend. Colin, we talked about the capitalist things. I'm so sorry if I haven't got back to you yet, my friend. I've been trying my absolute hardest, you know, to breathe and exist and get back to all the beautiful souls that have come forward is a challenge. But we were talking about the capitalist thing, my friend, so I'm fully with you, you know. And the beautiful thing that the whole point of the forest garden is that you have everything that you need to continue existing. Teresa, please correct the spelling. I would love to be able to show correct and full spelling. Ah, bless you. Do you mean with my mama's name? So my mama, it's Teresa without an H. So I don't know if that's what you meant, Asana. That's very kind of you, very thoughtful of you. Yeah, Teresa without an H. So I got a story about that too, but maybe we'll hold that off. Appreciate you, Colin. Well, amazing, my friend. Look, I will get back to you. I'm going to take it easy tomorrow, although I've got 4 videos to record. Take it easy, he says. Yeah, okay, James. Next joke. Right. Anyway, well, let's. I'll tell you that story another time. Mama, make a mental note if you can. We'll tell them about the story of the Egyptian hieroglyphic names and the Teresa and James. Shall I tell you now? I'll tell you now. Right, so when I was a child, my mother bought me an Egyptian hieroglyphic write your own name set. And we kind of used to talk about Egypt a lot. We felt quite connected to Egypt. We have been when I was younger. Very lovely trip. Appreciate my parents for taking me there. And we opened up this box, and the 2 names that it used as examples was Teresa and James. But it was Teresa spelt without the H. So it was just really weird that we had this affinity with Egypt, and then this Egyptian sort of kiddies write your own name in Egyptian hieroglyphs was Teresa and James. So very, very weird. Very weird. You know, very weird. I mean, I've been to the Egyptian pyramids. I have been down on the smaller ones. I was too young to feel anything. You know, I didn't have any mind-blowing awakenings from that. Would be lovely to go back one day. But yeah, very, very interesting. Deborah says, I'm a Scorpio, which is water. Interesting. Yeah, beautiful. Well, yeah, I know in Ayurvedic, I think I'm Scorpio all over the place, so I don't know. What that means about me, who knows, but you guys you'll figure me out in time. Free Queen says, I read every book about Egypt before puberty myself. Amazing. So another, yeah, very interesting that you've also got that affinity with Egypt. Very beautiful. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Cool. Right, well, let's keep going. So we had that really curious, an amazing video with this chap. And what I wanted to do as well is just go over the timeline so far. So when I'm talking about this restoration of the Great Global Garden, I want to be serious. Right, I want to be serious about uniting the people. I want to be serious about the directive and the policy and the constitution and the way we bring this together. And I want to go out into the world and start to really unite the people. I want to, if it means... Hold on a second. I want to talk to you guys again. We're very overdue for our meditation, by the way. So we're going to do that in just a second. Excuse me. If it means taking the British Crown to court, because they have admitted. So this is one of the most amazing things, and we're going to do our meditation. One of the most amazing things is the British Crown admitted that it stole land in New Zealand. I know Karina will know that because she shared the article with me, and that is absolutely mind-blowing. They literally, the British Crown admitted they stole land, and they gave it back. If they can do that once, they can do it again. So... I have no fear, kill me off, whatever. If that's what you're going to do, I'll come back as an eagle and I'll peck your eyes out. I won't. I'm sorry, I don't like. That was a joke. There's no violence here, guys. That was a really not very tasteful joke. Sorry, guys. I take that back. But no, there's no fear with me now. This has got to be done and it has to be the path. So, bearing that in mind. Let us all relax. Mary, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you very much. Sorry if I missed any other comments. Glorious Sunday all. I was thinking it's amazing how they are here when they're gone. Then they are there, become the same, sort of like then and now. Red Rover. Interesting. I apologise. Mary, would you be able to share a little bit more about what you mean? I might have missed the comment you're replying to. But anyway, appreciate you being here, Mary. Okay, guys. So we're going to get into our first meditation, and this one we're going to spend with David. Okay, so we're going to come over to David here. Let me just double check. Yeah, we're on the right place. So I would love bald eagle, bald head. Yeah, I'm embodying the spirit of the bald eagle as we speak. Thank you, Love Barnes. Oh, Carolina says they have done much worse than the eyes. Yeah, I agree with you. It's retribution is the word that came forward, and I haven't sat with that word yet. It's like when we're talking about the restoration of Earth and the goodness and decency, like how does retribution fit into that? So anyway, that's for another time. So let's get into our meditation. Everybody take a nice deep breath in, and together we're gonna come over
49 minutes in, so we can keep it to under 4 hours. At least that's something. Okay, so I'd ask you again to put both feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. And, I'm really up close now, so I got to look at my eyebrows. What is that?
And just enjoy this little
there we
moment
go.
with David.
Okay.
Let me know if the audio's okay, and see you shortly.
You got to keep a sense of humor about this. I really don't think anything bad is going to happen. So let's just use this meditation technology. We got enough people to change the future of humanity. Again, 7,000 people reduced war, terrorism, fatalities by 72% worldwide. We have almost that many right now just watching live, and we'll catch the rest on the replay. So this is going to work, folks. We can reduce the likelihood that these very scary things I just told you about could end up happening. Let's hope that happens. Scott Quick will just donate it. Thank you very much, Scott. So put both feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in. And then just let it go. Breathing into the peace, the sanctity, the joy of this moment. feeling your breath rising and falling, feeling the glorious prana, seeing that we are heading into the New Jerusalem, the fifth root race, that we are in the global king's chamber, just like the Casey reading said. I'm back, others are back. We're all doing our part as a team to bring about the successful completion of humanity's ascension, the bride and the bridegroom, the wedding of flesh to spirit. Breathing ever more deeply, going now deeper into the silence, feeling the calm, the rejuvenation, the relaxation. Even though we're going through an initiation that looks very scary right now, we will soon all be in a very new reality. No more lies, no more deceit. The truth will be exposed. It will be broadcast to everyone's devices, even if we don't have regular internet. We'll be learning some things that are shocking, but we're also going to be set free. This will be the final liberation of humanity. We'll have to learn some things that we find very upsetting, but all is well. We are protected. We are kept safe in the midst of these very troubling times, very troubling circumstances. As we continue breathing, we breathe healing to the planet, the reduction of war tension, the cessation of conflict, and we ask for the healing of ourselves, that we learn to love ourselves. We learn to have boundaries and say no to those people who wish to rip our lives apart, wish to have us always apologizing and be criticized, telling us we're not good enough, we're not bright enough, we're not strong enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not thin enough, whatever it is. Lovingly setting boundaries, even if that means that we might end up 2 weeks from now cutting the cords. This is all part of the initiation. We are all in the king's chamber, protected. An initiation oftentimes is about letting go, purifying, removing toxins, and that includes toxic thought forms, toxic people, toxic governments, toxic situations. All coming into concrescence now as we're learning to become more loving, recognizing once again that we are the light, we are the love, we are the one infinite creator. And this is as it was, as it is now, and as it always shall be. Sending this healing light to all those in need of it, sending it to the planet, imagining the planet bathed in loving light, and send it to yourself. Breathe in this healing and accept it for what it is. Your own transfiguration is underway, the meeting of the bride and the bridegroom, and so it is. And now bring yourself back to the room, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. We again lost about 200 people, but that always happens. We still have enough to pull this off, to do the global healing. I want to thank you for being here. I'm David Wilcock. We're at 3 hours and 54 minutes. That's good enough. Let's read a few more of your comments in the last few seconds.
Okay. Bring yourself back. Nice and slowly, don't rush. Take your time. That was our first meditation of this evening, of 5. Sharon, thank you very much for the lovely comment. We do indeed. Storm, welcome. 315, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in, guys. So bring yourself back, and as always, we like to share one thing that we're grateful for, one thing that may have came to us, and I'm of course very grateful for David, everything that he did, all of the love and the presence that he held for people. You know, that's my little sharing today. Soul Coach Suzanne says, we love and miss you, David. We do indeed. You know, wherever he is, here or there, you know, always was nice to spend time with David. So I did actually notice that, hold on a second, Carolina, you were in the comments. I don't know if you noticed that, a little bit higher up. Really lovely to see you there. You were in the comments of this video, which is amazing. It was, you said, stay on for the meditation. I'll come over and show you real quick. You were right there. Don't know if you saw that. There you go, Carolina Patriot 007. being a fellow James, I appreciate the 007 as well. So, very cool. All right, guys. So we're going to come back over to our slides. Like I say, Sharon and Storm, I'm not sure if I've seen your comments before. So if you are new here, let us know. It's very kind of you to come and be a part of our community, come and spend this time with us. You know, it's really, truly incredible that so many of you keep coming back to spend these weekends. You know, we're doing wonderful things, keeping the meditations going. So it's just really beautiful, exciting stuff. So, Suzanne, welcome, by the way. Sorry, I noticed you said hello. We were in the middle of the meditation. Thank you for coming here, enjoying Sunday with everyone. It's a pleasure for you to come and rejoin us. Prince Royal says, I would normally stay quiet in the chat during David's meditations. And I respect that. You know, you probably would have seen you a bit higher up, Prince Royal. So, you know, it's... Yeah. Oh, Kathy, my first time here. Awesome. I'm grateful for new conversations. Kathy, that's absolutely lovely. Thank you for tuning in. It's a truly wonderful pleasure to have you here. The people in our community are really, really wonderful, lovely people. So you're in the right place. You know, we've got a lovely group of people here, and today we have been just recapping some of the things that we were talking about last week. We've done our little sort of preparation. We've been having a conversation, so you're right on time. We're about to get into the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. So Storm says, been here before but only briefly, will be wanting to tune in more as I'm a bit. Well, that's amazing. You know, if you're able to tune in whenever you can, if you watch the live replay, you're still a part of this community, and it's really important that you know that, you know, in any way, shape or form. Storm says, love David and have followed his work since 2011. Beautiful, that's amazing. That's probably about the same for me. Although, let me think, 2026, it might be a little bit later on. Wisdom Teachings was when I really first came across David, and I watched them all. You know, I watched them all. I used to watch them while I was video gaming as a younger gentleman. So, yeah, I'm with you there. Free Queen says, heartfelt, less heavy this time, no tears. I'll call it healing, not watching too much of David's videos, though. I hear you. And, well, that's, you know, like, again, it's that bittersweet feeling. Bittersweet. You know, we're able to do what, you know, I don't know if Jude has done another live. I haven't been able to see yet. But, you know, we are doing a good thing here, guys. You know, we are. And I know you've all said that. I'm not, you know, I'm very proud of all of you. You know, I'm proud of you for coming and spending this 3 hours and 33 minutes with us, having these conversations. You know, this is big. You know, this is big. Gabriella, grateful to be here. My first live tune-in. Big love to all. Thank you so much, Gabriella. What a wonderful time for you to come and join us. We're just about to get into a very, very powerful conversation, so thank you for tuning in. Lovely for you to be here. Amazing, guys. Look at this. We've got more and more people coming in to be with us. So, love it. Love it. All right, then. So, my friends here in the chat room and my clients are amazing, Deborah. Beautiful. That's really cool. Well, love you all, guys. Thank you for coming and be with us. We're going to go back over to the slides. Go back to present. So I wanted to go over the timeline of realizations so far. Whoopsie. So ever since we've been doing the lives, we've discussed the Whirling Rainbow Prophecy. That is all about all nations, all peoples, and all creeds coming together. This has led us to understanding, you know, kind of what we're wanting to do over here in the United Kingdom with the Arthurian energies, the Arthurian traditions. We again saw here, you know, this representation of the rainbow, as well as the beautiful children happy. You know, again, just seems very symbolic. We discussed that the light in Britain was a very impactful body of work for me, which led to the Light of Albion with Lucas and I. They're two swords that we forged with our own hands. Just a cool little fact for you. Zoichka, welcome. No worries on being late, my friend. You're right on time. Whenever you can tune in is the perfect timing. Thank you for being here. Very kind of you. Then we moved on to Tend to the Earth, which was a derivative of the Light of Albion, because we have 7 disciplines in there. Tend to the mind, tend to the body, tend to the heart, tend to the hearth, tend to the land, the pursuit of passion and purpose, and tend to others. I may have missed tend to the... I think I got them all in there. So therefore we gave birth to Tend to the Earth, which led us as we've been discussing Anastasia, I've read all 10 books over the years. I know a lot of people have come across the Anastasia books, but I wanted to share that here. Let me move my camera. So the Anastasia books are a very powerful body of work as well, really beautiful. She talks about the 2.5 acres, so that's something that is a big part of this too. Then we've looked at this biblical philosophy, the Garden of Eden. What an interesting, curious story. Why is it a garden? Why is the Garden of Eden talked about right in the origin story? And then, of course, we've moved into those powerful symbols with the heart on the top of the mountain, and I have that tattoo. I won't show you that now, but I have a heart atop of a mountain, and this was right outside where we are. The heart was on top of the mountain. And then we've gone into the ancient civilizations, and the question I have now is, where are we going and what do we do? Okay, where are we going and what do we do? All right, so I truly believe that 10 to the Earth has now become the restoration of the great global garden, and every single soul on the planet, should they choose to engage, has a role to play. That means every single one of you, if you want to be a part of this restoration of the great global garden, then you will be. And so from here, I asked myself, what could the next 3 steps be? Okay, what could the next 3 steps be? And I think that one of the big things that I'm already starting to do, something that I'm really engaged with, is uniting and educating the people. So like I say, we've had over 5 million views now across Facebook, more across different platforms. We're really making things happen. In 1939, in the United Kingdom, there was something called Dig for Victory, and it was a movement by the Ministry of Agriculture, which mobilized within just 3 years. Let me come and say this full screen. In 3 years, by 1942, it is said they had half the population involved, right? 20.1 million people growing vegetables. Schoolyards around the Tower of London, allotments, parks, right? There were 20.1 million people engaged. So if we don't believe that it is possible to have a mass mobilization of people returning back to our land, then I say to you, it's already been done, right? It might not have been done in the way that we're talking about it, by giving people 2.5 acres. Kathy, beautiful and excellent question. We'll probably get into that discussion for some of the individuals who have only just joined us. So if you have only just tuned in, stick around. We will certainly get into that. I'll share it in just a moment. So it's already been, come across. We've already seen it happen, right? When the need arose, this is very important, guys. When the need arose, 20.1 million people, half the population of the United Kingdom, was mobilized to grow vegetables, right? It can be done. That is my point. Next, I feel that if the British Crown has admitted that they stole land, they have 6.6 billion acres of land. I couldn't even finish that sentence without laughing through it. They have 6.6 billion acres of land across the globe. That's the supposed number, okay? I like to be move on the edge of caution with things, like sources of information. It is said they have 6.6 billion acres of land. That right there, you imagine that land being given back to the people to start to restore the great global garden. You would create paradise in a matter of years, and I believe it's possible, and we're walking this path. And next, obviously, the idea of this is giving that land personhood and custodians. All right? Giving that land personhood and custodians. So, Kathy, beautiful question. So the idea is, if you took millions of people all across the globe, families on average of 5, so it might be, you might have a family of 2, you might have a family of 10, eventually it would average itself out. If you had families of 5 being given 2.5 acres of land to plant a forest garden, you would restore the soil, which is in dire need because the soil is being horrendously decimated. You would restore the ecosystems, which have been horrendously decimated and pushed to the fringes. You would restore the quality and the abundance of food. Graham Bell has been able to grow 1.25 tons of food on just 0.2 acres of land. You would restore the sovereignty and the freedom of the people. And you would restore the future for our children. Now, again, I do want to highlight that the Arthurian tradition, King Arthur, the Round Table, just the phrase global forest garden activated something in me like a sleeper cell. Yeah, absolutely, wood pigeon. And, that's, again, it's, we kind of, obviously, forest gardening is the foundational principle because, it's connected to this idea of humanity returning back. So, another thing that we discussed in our past lives is what happened in past civilizations. So you guys are more than welcome to go back. I am going to start doing videos on my YouTube channel breaking down what we're talking about, on a more concise level. So if we've If we've spoke about the Whirling Rainbow Prophecy, I'm going to do a video on it. If we've talked about the rise and fall of civilizations due to deforestation and agriculture, we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to make those videos a bit more shorter and out of the live, so that when new individuals come along, which like you guys, appreciate all of our new viewers, if you are interested, you can go and watch them videos. So yeah, that's the gist. Of probably there's more there, but I'll keep going. 42 and 42 is 124. So yeah, we're all good. Storm says misclick. That's no worries. Deanna says that is so cool. The Earth as a person or entity. Well, this is the thing, and we're going to get into that shortly. I'm going to get on with it. If forests, mountains, rivers, lakes have been given legal personhood, what is to stop the entire planet being given legal personhood? And then you can start to legally moderate. Is that what the structure we're keeping? I don't know. You can start to moderate the practices that people are doing, So, Heather, hi all, jumping in a bit late, but I'm here. Love the Global Forest Garden. Yes, James, what a great way to get the message through. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for coming in. Absolute pleasure for you to be here. Asna says, I have a friend in the heart of London with a simple plot of land. He is raising enough food for his family and neighbours as well. Absolutely. This is it. You see, this is it. And it's not just providing us with food, but you restore wildlife in the ecosystem because they need a space. That's the point. At the minute, they have given no space for wildlife. Excuse me. Ethically moderate and prevent abuse of our planet. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you completely. All right, guys. So this is what I'm feeling. Can we take the Crown to court? Can we get them to admit yet again that they stole 6.6 billion acres of land? Can you get them to bring it back? Why should we think in terms of small? Again, guys might think I've lost my mind. You guys won't, but anybody who might watch this in the future might think so. But why should we think small? They certainly don't. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a brief recap of the history from 1066 to 1914 and the widespread land grabs in the United Kingdom. Now, we did go over this last week, so we will just go through at a bit of a quicker pace. For those of you that have tuned in, hopefully that is all right with you. So the summary timeline. This is what we're going to be exploring. The Norman Conquest, Domesday Book, Dissolution of Monasteries, Kett's Rebellion, Parliamentary Enclosure Acts, the peak of Parliamentary Enclosure Acts, where 7 million acres of land were enclosed or stolen, Scottish Highland Clearances, General Enclosure, Crofts Holdings, and the 5,200 Enclosure Acts passed in total. Okay, and that's the timeline, 1066 to 1914. So this is our history, guys. This is why we are the way we are and why we are not on our land as we should be. So we're starting with the Norman Conquest and feudal land grab from 1066 to 1087, also known as the Harrowing, if I'm not mistaken. This was arguably the single most dramatic land grab in English history. In 1067, William the Conqueror took the extraordinary step of declaring that, as England's monarch, he owned every acre of land in the country. Now again, just quickly, you might ask yourself the question, all right, guys, well, James, why are we talking about this? I'm not really that bothered about history. You might be, you might not. The reason why we're talking about this is because this gives us a point of conversation to ask ourselves, how can we unify the people? If you can unify the people and tell them that 2.5 acres of land is rightfully theirs when the crown gives it back, and we can start that path and we can walk that path, right? There might be people who will help us to put together a legal structure. You might get 30, 40, 50 million people in the United Kingdom coming together to take the British crown to court. These are things that are starting to whirl around in my head here. Why shouldn't it be possible? We might start a political party where we start to show people that you are owed 2.5 acres of land to grow a forest garden and restore this landscape. That doesn't mean sell it off for a skyscraper. There will be a certain sort of parameter, because otherwise what's the point? The whole point of this is we're giving ourselves and our children a future. So that's the point. Bradeen says, isn't it interesting that many of the gentry can no longer afford to keep their estates? Of course they can't, because no one person is supposed to have 3,000 acres of land. I've been having this conversation with people quite a lot. No single person is supposed to have that much land to themselves. The land is here lovingly, unconditionally, to support us. That means you. Whether you're from America, Australia, New Zealand, England, Europe, wherever you are sat watching this, there is 2.5 acres on this planet where your feet can be planted. Your little piece of Eden, your little piece of paradise, and I don't mind using those words, because we literally have people doing forest gardening, and it is beautiful. The kinds of vegetables you can have, the fruits, the berries, the leaves, the shoots, the nuts, the interaction with nature, the peace, the quiet, the clean air, the clear water. It is yours, and I will not stop until the vast majority of us, all of us, I don't know how much I can do in my lifetime, the vast majority of us, all of us, have that 2.5 acres back. Right? This is King Arthur. It's the whirling rainbow. It's everything that many nations and tribes have been talking about. And we're talking about it right here and right now. So I'm going to get on, but I'm passionate. Asna says, being native land grabs and Tatari have been wiped off the face of our history. They learned how to continue their pillaging, but we are far too awake now to allow them the freedom of bullying us. You're right. People are not afraid to die anymore. You can't threaten people with murder. You can't threaten people with the things that they used to. Do it then. Yeah? This is for anybody, any of those who are going to try to watch what we're doing. Do it then. Because you're not going to stop this now. Whether it's me or somebody else, millions of people will take up the baton and they will do it. Right? I'm not afraid of anything. It has to happen. I can't bring a child into this world until it does. I can't. I can't do it. And I would love to. I know there's a little daughter waiting, So David says, I'll take my 2.5 acres tax-free. Of course, this is the point. There is no greater mission or purpose on planet Earth than the restoration of our soils and ecosystems. They are being violently decimated. I don't like saying that because it's very doomsday. It can feel very, wow, James, that's quite a intense thing to say, and I'm sorry. It is. But just know that I'm here. Every waking second of my life is spent pursuing this. Okay? So, Heather, love you lots. Passion aside, I want to keep going. Sorry if I've missed any. By the way, Joan of Arc, I noticed your comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm trying to stay chatting with you guys, but I want to get through this as well. William the Conqueror confiscated the property of the reluctant English landowners. Wonder why? And over the next dozen years granted land to his lords and the dispossessed Englishmen, or affirmed their existing landholdings in exchange for fealty and promises of military and other services. Wonderful. Well done, William the Conqueror. What a fantastic thing to do. The Domesday Book, the result of a huge property survey commissioned in 1085, shows the scale of the king's land grab. So if you want to look at this for yourself, you can have a look at the Domesday Book. The church held about 26% of the terrain included in the survey, but almost everything else was in the hands of the Normans. William headed the rich list, with estates covering 17% of England. Roughly 150 to 200 barons held another 54% between them. How vile. The Domesday Book reveals that 90% of the population lived in the countryside and 75% of the people were serfs, which is an unfree labourer. Annie says, restoring our world for our new little generations to come is the most beautiful and vital mission. The timing of that was perfect, of you popping that comment. Tom says, and how is that all the money of the world is in the hands of so few? Beautiful point. If the wealthiest people in the world gave up half of their wealth, they cannot spend it all. It's absolutely ludicrous. To have £1 billion is complete and utter psychosis. If I had that amount of money, it would be so gone within a month. It's disgusting. The amount of people I would seek to support with that amount of money is absolutely mind-blowing. You'd be losing your mind trying to keep up with it, because that amount of money would alleviate the stress and pressure of millions of people, billions of people. Anyway, forest gardens, of course, because ultimately we want to be able to look after ourselves perfectly, which is the forest garden. So anyway. Many Anglo-Saxons resettled in Scotland, Ireland, Scandinavia, and even as far away as the Black Sea coast, so they were removed from their lands. The source there you can see. I know it ain't so easy to type it out, but I like to keep it in so that you know what I'm talking about, why and where. So there's the source for this information. And also that one as well. There's two sources there. The medieval open field system and early enclosures, 12th to 15th centuries. Before enclosure, England utilised an open field system for much of its history. Agricultural and cultivation systems were not very advanced, but it allowed each village to be self-sufficient for the time being. Because again, as we found, for those of you who are watching this live stream and haven't yet seen the others, ancient civilizations consistently fell because of deforestation and monoculture agriculture. Okay, industrial single crop agriculture does not work. It never has worked. So the fact that we're doing it to such a colossal scale at the minute is unfortunately quite concerning. But no worries. There's nothing to fear, my friends. We will restore our planet. We're speaking words that seem just very quiet. Very, very quiet in this little room, right? But I promise you now, as this moves forward, as the people hear these words, we're going to unite a tremendous amount of people. This farming system would have the same nutrient deficient issues that ancient agricultural methods would have. Common land was held collectively. People had traditional rights to graze livestock, collect firewood and cut turf. Early informal enclosures began to appear from around the 12th century, where individual landowners began fencing off portions of common fields, but this was not yet widespread or formalised. Prince says, James, $1 billion in those days would only be like $100 today without adjusting inflation. That's ridiculous. Isn't that absolutely ridiculous? Really is. Karina says they are driven by power and profit. This is unsustainable. It is indeed. And this is why I believe that there is nothing to fear, because the people will come together, and when you amass maybe 1 billion people, could you imagine? Why should we think small? Again, let's wait for all of the future news articles of insane tattooed Englishman thinks he can unite the population of Earth. Get ready for that one, guys. Let me get my eyeballs on the camera here. Yeah? You wait until some of the news things do that. Insane Englishman thinks he can unite all the individuals. That one's certainly going to come. Oh, Karina. Oh, it's such a shame, Karina. Hopefully you can tune back in, because I'm going to get to what you shared with me. The forest being given legal personhood. So anyway, have a lovely day, Karina. You take care, and we'll see you soon. Okay. I love that insane tattooed Englishman. Yeah, I'm ready. I've been called everything under the sun over the past 3 weeks. Can I tell you just that? I have been called some brutal things, but that's fine, because I've also had 90% of very loving, very engaged, very connected comments, you know, people who are right on board with this. It's actually more like 97%. There was one post I did that I could have been a bit more intelligent with how I worded it. It was about Rupert Lau. A lot of people came on to defend him. Not that I was knocking him, I just don't trust the guy as far as I can throw him, you know, because anyway. However, can I just point out there are very important things that he is talking about. Is it orchestrated by the British government anyway, and is he a plant to make it so that now everybody now has a saviour? Oh, I have no idea. Who knows, guys? So, whatever your opinion is on that, just know I humbly apologise. I don't want to upset anybody right now, but my point was until politicians are speaking about giving people back 2.5 acres of land, it ain't enough. Okay, so that's how I feel. Tom says, consider myself delusional, James. We must be deluded to have let this madness happen. Absolutely. You know, over the years, how many thousands of people have been called insane? You know, I'm not bothered. You know, I'm really not bothered. And why? Because what we're talking about is so absolutely wonderful and beautiful. What does it matter? Call me delusional. I couldn't care less. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't already and you're willing to, hit the like button. You know, we've had some lovely new people join, so it's clearly helping people to find us, which is really nice. So, yeah. Prince Royal, tattooed Englishman goes against the Facebook police. The authorities are looking for him, but are overwhelmed by the amount of possible suspects. Not sure how I feel about that, Prince. Look, I choose to be aerodynamic, although I have to admit I was in the gym the other day and there were 4 other gentlemen that were tattooed and bald, and I thought to myself, what is going on here? But look, I'm at peace. I'm at peace with the old Bonts, guys. You know, it gets plenty of sun. The crown chakra gets charged with no hair blocking it. I'm all good. I'm joking. I'm not bothered about how I look. It's all an avatar in it. Hopefully I'll be glowing when I pass on. Just merge back into all that is the sun. Anyway, right. Come on, James. Stay focused. Look, I love chatting with you guys. I know that you guys enjoyed the constant format. So now we're going on to the Tudor enclosure ad. What time are we on? 12:26. We're probably due our next live. Let's just do this one and then we'll get into our meditation. Free Queen says rainbow body. Absolutely. Asana, James, you cracked me up. It's good to have a laugh. The 16th century saw enclosure accelerate dramatically, driven by the wool trade. Money, again, so like Karina said, money's a big one. During the early part of the 16th century, large numbers of farmers changed from growing crops to raising sheep. This involved enclosing arable land and turning it into pasture for sheep. Wealthy landowners saw enormous profits in wool, and common land was increasingly seized. So when those dollar-pound signs start sparkling, right, they start to think, right, well, we want more, so they start taking that land. The dissolution of the monasteries, 1536 to 1541, under Henry VIII, compounded the crisis. Monastic lands which had provided social welfare and common use rights were sold off to wealthy gentry. If you guys don't know what that means, it basically means people who own a huge amount of land, right? People who own all the land, that's what the wealthy gentry are. Accelerating enclosure and dispossessing thousands of the rural poor. Colin says, us baldies save a fortune on shampoo. We do indeed. Brizzy, I haven't seen the latest video. Whoa, don't get me excited. I've got to stay focused. I haven't, but I will. Very exciting. What happened then was something called Kett's Rebellion, which was a direct response to what this Tudor enclosure. Wealthy aristocrats began to enclose lands to graze their sheep. There was an ancient right to graze the common land, and more of the nobility started to enclose it, stopping the people from grazing this common land. This gave them opportunities to make a great deal of money with more sheep having grazing space. But it also cost the common people their own space and those ancient rights. On the 8th of July 1549, residents of Wymondham, in Norfolk, gathered and tensions over local enclosures erupted. The crowd destroyed fences and hedges around enclosed land. Robert Kett, unexpectedly, he was one of those wealthy land gentries. Robert Kett unexpectedly sided with the rebels, declaring his support for their cause and dismantling his own enclosures. Kett's rebellion grew to 16,000 men. People came from all over East Anglia and several camps set up and took Norwich by force. The Earl of Warwick sent 12,000 men and eventually defeated Kett outside Norwich, killing 3,000 men in the process. Isn't that unfortunate? Kett drew up a list of demands that included that no lord of the manor should be able to exploit common land and that private jurisdiction should be abolished. Now, unfortunately, in today's modern age, they still did this, and this is why we have such an astronomical amount of land that is owned in the United Kingdom by 0.06% of the people. Now, there is a differing opinion whether it's 1% or 0.06, but most people don't have access to the land. Absolutely. Nothing noble there. Boudin. Funny they are referred to as nobility, not much noble. No, they're not. That's exact. But this is the pompous nature of it. You know, they give themselves all that. It's just like Hollywood. You know, in Hollywood, they give themselves the award ceremonies. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's it, you know. Anyway, okay. There we go. We are now going to come over. We're going to do our next meditation. Let me just come over here. Excuse me. So parliamentary enclosures is our next one. Positive events. All right, my beautiful family. Get yourself nice and relaxed because we are about to do our second meditation. Okay. I'd like to invite you to take a nice deep breath in. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax your entire body. Bring yourself into the present moment. Firstly, I would like to give thanks to every single person who is present with us right now. This is our second meditation, and we're going to be meditating for positive events to continue happening around the world. So once again, just take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. I would like to invite you to know in your heart that positive and beautiful events are going to continue happening on planet Earth. We're going to continue seeing the indigenous people rising up to protect their lands. Excuse me. Know and trust that many people now are waking up to what is happening. They are seeing with their own two eyes. the things that have happened to people, communities, nations all around the world. The injustices, the unfair treatment. And as they bear witness to these truths, they are then greeted with the most beautiful and wonderful knowledge that we are returning and restoring the Great Global Garden. Trust that the light of the people is going to continue to expand, continue to get brighter and brighter. When you meet people and talk to them, they'll know exactly what you're saying. And this web of connection is going to unite all people, all nations, and all creeds under one beautiful philosophy. Know that we will see a future where children are born in living ecosystems, where mothers have an opportunity to give birth the way it should be, natural, without blaring LED lights, where they may give birth in a safe and beautiful way, the way our ancestors would, where that child will be immediately recognized by the ecosystem, where it will grow up with living beings, butterflies, bees, plants, herbs, animals, where the mind will be stimulated and their intelligence will expand rapidly beyond anything I believe we may have already seen. Know that mothers and fathers will be free, happy, to work on their relationships, to be present with one another, instead of worrying or panicking about the stresses of modern life, where they can be creative, happy, joyful, do a little salsa. Where we see people coming together in kindness, decency and goodness, and where people are more inclined to open the door for you, or share a kind word, or support you when you need it, as you will for them. And as these positive events continue to radiate from our own behaviour and intentions, and from those out there in the world, know and trust that we're going back home, and we are going to fulfill an event on this world which will echo throughout the universe. If there is life out there, we will become a beacon of light with the wonderful fulfillment of the restoration of this beautiful planet. Danaho Wio, it is said and it is good. Namaste and Amen. I'd like to leave you for just a moment to spend some time in your own thoughts, to share your own words. And when you're ready, feel free to come back in your own time. All my love. Alright guys, welcome back. When you're ready, please feel free to share one thing that you're perhaps grateful for, one thing that came to you. Yakish, welcome, my friend. Forever on the red road, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Wesley says, I remember David saying that real estate was actually called royal estate, and it means all land is owned by royal bloodlines. Well, for now at least, but yes, interesting. Oh, interesting, Lydia. Well, I'll take that you were relaxed. Hopefully. That's really... Oh, the audio is suddenly very quiet. Can you hear me? Anybody hear me? Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? Are we loud? Are we clear? Are we crisp? Let me know, guys. Is it still good? Let me just pop these on and have a double check. Yakish, welcome, my friend. Forever on the red road, absolutely. Audio perfectly clear. Okay, I'm not interesting, Asana. Is it any better now, Asana? All is good. Thank you, Gail, Tammy, blah. Lydia says I meant that I was in agreement. Oh, sorry, Lydia. Sorry, I didn't know that you... I thought I read that as nodding off, which isn't a bad thing. Look, being relaxed is good, but I hear you. Okay, I got you. You meant in agreement. Sorry about that. Sue, perfect sound, crystal clear. Prince Royal, thanks, guys. All right, then. Not sure why that might have been Asana. Maybe it's hopefully... Oh, clear. Okay, cool. Glad it's better now. Wade, welcome, brother, from Arizona. Thank you for tuning in, as you have. Appreciate you, my friend. Echoes. Hold on. Double checking. Let me just double check here. Audio perfectly clear. Okay, I'm not interesting, Asana. Is it any better now, Asana? All is good. Thank you, Gail, Tammy. What is going on? It's actually echo. Why is that computer? Oh, I know why. Oops, sorry. Thank you for letting me know that. Sue, thank you for letting me know. I left the audio. I'm hearing an overlap. Yeah, sorry. It was playing on my monitor. Sorry, guys. There we go. Oh, first technical difficulty of the day. Yes. No, it's not. I think we've nailed it at this point. So, all right, I've sorted that out. No worries. All right, guys. Well, let's. My favorite thing to ask, but if it is okay with you guys, I would love to pop a little goal in here. I know that many people are in the exact same boat that I am in, so I expect absolutely nothing from anybody. But if you are willing to support the stream and support me, because I'm doing this absolutely wonderful, but just know that it is completely and utterly not expected. I've just popped a little goal over there in the chat, wherever it is. So if you're willing to share a little bit of support, then that would be deeply, humbly appreciated, but there is no expectation, I promise you. Love you all very dearly, and I'll crack on with what we're doing. Justice in a Treehouse. Love that name. Cool. Nice. Grateful to be alive and healing. I love that very much, and thank you for tuning in and being here. Very kind of you to spend this time with us. All right, guys. Well, let's keep going. So come across to the full monitor. Parliamentary enclosures. So this is where we are at the minute. Let's just go into the present mode. Keeps going in and out your voice, James. Clones checking in. James, you keep going on mute for a second. Do I? What's going on, guys? They found us. We've been discovered. They're playing. No, I'm joking. Oh, yeah, that's very weird. I've turned the audio off of that. I don't know. Annie, can you just type in the chat? Is it still going on? Or is it... Hold on, let me just... I think we're all... It does occasionally cut out for like... Do you know what it's... do you know what it's doing? It's when I move the mic. I think when I move the mic, it's when it's cutting out. Anyway, I think that's good now. All right, okay. Turn that off. Back over here. Cool. So parliamentary enclosures from the 17th to 19th century. Joie de vie, bless you, my dear. How do you send a donation? There's a little button down by the chat. It should give you an opportunity to do a super chat, and you're able to pop anything into there and send it over if you'd be willing to. That would be really, really lovely. I actually haven't popped in the PayPal link from the past. I will do that at some point. But yeah, you should see where it says that you can chat. There should be a couple of little buttons, and one of them should be able to do it. Bless you. I appreciate you at the very least for even considering doing it. It's very kind. Wesley said David visiting us. Yeah, absolutely. Technical difficulties is David coming along and letting us know he's here. Whether he's in a bunker or whether he's on the other world, he's here. He's definitely present. All right, guys. Love you all very much. Right, let's keep going then. So that was 124. So plus onto that is 124 is 2 hours and 6 or 8 minutes. So we've got a bit of time. Nice. So parliamentary enclosures, 17th and 19th centuries. We're going to go through this a bit because I know we got here before. Originally, enclosures of land took place through informal agreement. But during the 17th century, the practice developed of obtaining authorization by an act of parliament. Initiatives to enclose came either from landowners hoping to maximise rental from their estates or from tenant farmers anxious to improve their farms. From the 1750s, enclosure by parliamentary act became the norm. Between 1604 and 1914, over 5,200 individual acts were put in place enclosing 6.8 million acres. This represented just over 1/5 of the entire land area of England. Okay, so they started making this a legitimate legal thing by taking the land off of people. Deborah, thank you so much for the $10 donation. That is really, really kind of you. Thank you for sending that over. That's really lovely. I appreciate your support very much. Everything really, it does help. While because I don't have another job aside from this. This is what I do completely. So Deborah, my darling, thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. All my love. Okay, so the ownership of all common land and wasteland that farmers and lords had was taken from them. Any right they had over the land was gone. So you see they started to push, and I think we discussed last week about the programming. So you start to program people, you start to disempower them, and it becomes more available what you can do to those people. New fields were designed, new roads were added, and the land was eventually reallocated to different farmers and lords. Social consequences were severe. The enclosure movement resulted in urbanisation and increased poverty. City populations grew in England, and as displaced farmers flocked to cities for work. These cities were overcrowded and factory jobs provided little pay. Poverty increased as people struggled to afford food and housing. So you see what happened here? So they booted people off the land, and they started to push people into towns or cities. So you get a lot of people in a small area instead of a lot of people spread out over a large area looking after the land. And people started to struggle. Andromeda, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Never too late. Absolutely perfect timing for being here. It's glad to have you back. Oh, Andromeda. The timing of that as well. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much for the $7 donation. That's really, really heartwarming. Thank you, Andromeda. Deborah and Andromeda, very kind of you both. Love you both very much. Really, really appreciate the support. More than you know. Trust me, guys. More than you know. Right, okay. The Highland clearances of Scotland. Bradeen said heartbreaking. It is. But you see, the interesting thing here is, even the farming that they were doing wasn't working. So, we have this weird succession of time where now in the modern time, we're talking about returning to the Great Global Garden, which is not what they were doing before. So you do that on a mass level, what happens to our planet? It becomes a beautiful, genuine, beautiful paradise. Scotland experienced its own devastating version of enclosure. The Highland clearances were a period of forced evictions and displacement of thousands of Highlanders in Scotland during the 18th and 19th centuries. Driven by a desire among landowners to modernise their estates, here we go again, and turn them over to more profitable use, such as sheep farming. There we go. Farms were consolidated into larger units, land was enclosed, sheep were introduced taking over from the more traditional cattle, and rents were increased. You see, the problem with cattle and sheep is that, again, you have a desolation of the ecosystem. Now, okay, regeneration of soil, there's an argument that people have with that, but because they graze everything down to almost completely nothing, there is no room for the forest to regenerate, which is where most of the habitat, food source, and habitat and food source being the main two, that all of our native species have. So America, wherever you are in the world, our native species need habitat and a food source, and heavy cattle usage doesn't allow for that. So anyway, the modern Highland landscape was manufactured by wealthy estate owners in their pursuit of more money, with no regard for the people who had worked the land for them for hundreds of years before. Oh, Joie de Vie, that's very kind of you. You are truly a blessing to this world, all of us and me. Don't ever stop being your authentic self. That's a really, really sweet message, Joie de Vie, and I appreciate your support very, very much. To donate is a really kind thing to do, because where I'm currently at, it's very, very helpful. If anybody can't, that's totally fine. I always want to know that. It's never expected, but that's extremely kind of you, so thank you. Everyone who is spending their precious, precious earthly time with me is outstanding. So that little that support from all of you with the little donations, the perfect donations, sorry. I didn't mean to say little, I didn't mean it like that. I meant, the acts of love, that's really kind, so that I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much. Estimates of those evicted during the clearances range between 70,000 and over 150,000 displaced people. You imagine in the Highlands, I mean, it's a very broad landscape as it is. And so having up to 150,000 people removed from their lands is truly crazy. Mass migrations occurred mainly to the Scottish lowlands, Canada, the United States, or Australia, again removed from their native lands. In 1883, in response to growing sympathy for the plight of the crofters, the Napier Commission was established to investigate their condition. This is where I think we actually got to last week, so we're on track now. Yeah, Deborah, absolutely, Joie de Vie, thank you. Thank you to all of you for the donations. It's very kind. It's a tremendous and huge support. I didn't mean to say what I said. That was extreme. I meant as in, acts of love. But so thank you all very much. Very kind of you. Finally, in 1886, the possibility of future evictions was legally eliminated with Parliament's passage of the Crofters Holding Act, grounded on the so-called 3 Fs: fair rent, free sale, and fixity of tenure. So again, it's like, regardless, they have taken the lands of the people. This is why it's so important we have this conversation, because in order for us to have a future, we have to look at this. We've got to get our lands back from the people who have taken it from us. And when I posted about King Charles a few weeks back, there were thousands and thousands of people that came forward to share what they feel and know about the display that was in front of them. A person who was talking about getting through poverty whilst they've got a £5 billion crown on their head. It's very silly, So we're almost through this 1,000-year history now. The General Enclosure Act 1801 and Enclosure Consolidation Act of 1845. Whoopsie. Well, we're already on 2 points. The General Enclosure Act of 1801 was the first attempt to standardise the process, creating a template for local enclosure bills to follow, rather than requiring each to be written from scratch. The Enclosure Act of 1845 went further, establishing permanent enclosure commissioners, right? Appoint somebody to do this. How efficient of them. With the power to sanction enclosures without individual acts of parliament, which greatly accelerated the process. So they started to take more and more land off of people quicker. So that was that little bit there. I was sort of in two minds whether to share that bit, but we did anyway. And then finally, 20th century and land ownership today. In 1925, the Law of Property Act gave the public the right of air and exercise on metropolitan commons, but not rural commons, making sure all of the land gentry keep that private for themselves. Also in 1925, the land registry began to date about 50% of the land... the land registry began to date about 50% of the land as being registered. That makes absolutely no sense. I did, blah. I did. Thank you for saying that. I meant, that's what I meant. But then as I said it, I'm like, that's completely ridiculous because it's a huge act of kindness because it supports me in the position I am. So I meant, you know how people say little acts of kindness makes the world go round? And I didn't want that to sound like, thank you for saying that. That's very kind, all right, then call it a little act of kindness, but to me it's an astronomical act of kindness. So how about that one? And having 87 people with us is equally an astronomical act of kindness. So thank you. I felt really bad then, but I appreciate that, blah. Love you guys very much. Yeah, Deborah, I agree with you. Very kind of you all. So Soul Couch says, San says, deepest gratitude for those donated to James each week. I appreciate that. And, look, guys, again, if in my life, I had expected things to... let's do 2 seconds. I know we do this often, but let's do 2 seconds. I had expected things to open up a bit quicker than they have. My dear, lovely mother has been supporting me for an extremely long period of time, and I have focused every ounce of my time and attention on this path forward, the Great Global Garden. What do we do about the world? So, Lucas and Annie have been supporting us with a job, etc. So for me, this is it. I'm all in on this. So yes, the donations are deeply appreciated, certainly not expected, and yeah, so love you lots. The legacy of enclosure and the original Norman land grab is still visible in modern Britain. So remember, the original Norman land grab was 1066. We are still feeling the effects of 960 years ago, right? Give or take. 980. A disproportionately small number of individuals and institutions own vast amounts of land. To this day, only a few dozen people own most of the Scottish Highlands, which is insane. I'm not going to say that. Many of the islands belong to individuals or corporations. So again, just going back to that summary of the timeline, in case you want to screenshot this and have a look yourselves, it's right here. Deborah says, mums are so important, they love us dearly and completely. I agree with you. My mother has done that impeccably. As far as I can go, I can say my mum has truly and utterly loved me impeccably. My father too. The Enclosure Act. So, I don't know what's going on there. I must have forgotten to do that last week, sorry. So this is it now. We're almost finished with this bit. From the 1750s, enclosure by Parliamentary Act became the norm. Overall, between 1604 and 1944, over 5,200 enclosure bills were enacted by Parliament, which related to just over a fifth of the total area of England, coming up to about 7 million acres of land. Where there were once large communal open fields, land was now hedged and fenced off, and old boundaries disappeared. But historians remain divided over to the extent to which enclosure forced those at the lowest end of rural society, the agricultural labourers, to leave the land permanently to work and see in the towns. Well, I don't need historians to tell me that. It sucked and continues to suck. So, sorry guys, but yeah, it's an absolute violation done to our people. But the beauty of discussing this is we know where to start. Okay? We know where to start, and it's about getting back onto the land. Sorry, Annie, I can hear the live through the other thing. I don't know if you'd be able to pop a couple of headphones in, could you? Because it's taking me off very, very slightly. Prince Royal, that's really sweet. Yeah, we must give thanks for Mummy Teresa, and that you'll see Thomas. It's Thomas Malins as well on YouTube, so it's Tommy Malins too. my dad doesn't have the sort of the thing to watch it, so it's I think my mum's mainly watching it. Lisa Bayliss, welcome. Please pray for safety and protection of the Australian Brumby horses this week. Oh, interesting, Lisa. Can you share a little bit more? That's really upsetting. What's going on there? Yeah, what about the... Yeah, please share more, Lisa. Really important. No worries, Annie. Thanks, darling. Okay, so my question here is, do you notice any more common themes? For example, money is often a huge driving force for these decisions. Money and power. They slowly encroached on the people's rights, slowly but surely. Okay, so they don't do it quickly, they wait. Because if you do it quickly, you often get rebellion, you often get people attacking. But if you do it slowly and surely, people completely agree Teresa is our Mother Mary. Well, it's really funny because my mother's middle name... Am I giving too much information away here, Mum? My mum's middle name is Mary, so that's really funny. Soul Coach Suzanne says, yes, everyone, I just need to make sure James is okay with it, and these sessions to work on anything you would want would help me by a donation to our family and James, so it could be a gift for all of us. Yeah, sure. I can't remember where the other interest. I am training in different areas. Yeah, beautiful. Appreciate that, guys. So, okay. They often make their illegal and unethical practices enforceable by law, but the question is, whose law? Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about here is that there is a very important conversation about the natural person. So all of us here, often your name in capitals is not actually who you are. Okay, that's a corporation that was created by birth. I'm not fully knowledgeable about this. It is something I need to revisit with myself. But there is hold on. Let's finish this actually. 1 second, guys. Just bringing myself back to the center, tripping over my words a bit. In the idea of farming, we don't have a single mention of the use of trees, another snippet of evidence that we still haven't remembered the power of the forest. So when we were talking about barley, wheat, the sheep, the cattle, we don't hear about trees, right? Trees are in, you can't underestimate the power of the trees in the growing process. Excuse me. Everything is done through progressive conditioning, which is what I mentioned a second ago. We were forced off of our native lands and forced to work and then pay taxes on top of that slave work. They introduced luxuries which distracted the people from the violations done to their ancestors. Right? This is a very important sentence. I'm actually going to read that again. We were forced off of our native lands and forced to work and pay taxes on top of that slave work. So we are working a 9 to 5 and then we're taxed on that 9 to 5, which is complete lunacy. They introduced luxuries, TV, washing machine, dryer, cooker. They introduced these luxuries which distracted the people from the violations done to our ancestors. Right? This is a really important point. Just a Setting Sun says, listen to the Rush song, The Trees. Interesting. I'll have to write that down. Mum or Annie, could you make a note of that song, please? Rush song, The Trees. I'd like to know what that is. So here we are. We are finally, I appreciate, guys, we're 2 hours in now. We're finally onto the topic I wanted to share with you. So let's go into the first 20 examples and then we'll probably do our meditation and then we will continue. Lisa says, I've heard that there is a cull planned on Tuesday. Pam Gregory shared a post about it on Facebook. That's really unfortunate. Prayers for all horses, including Dartmoor ponies. This is in England. I've mistaken that. I'm sorry. I thought you mentioned Australian Brumby horses. Australian Brumby horses in England, do you mean? That's a shame. But this is the problem. Because the ecosystem's so out of balance, they do this with deer. You know, they do this with deer. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, that's a conversation to have at some point, but let's keep going. So something very exciting, guys. I have here examples of nature being given personhood. This was inspired by Karina Curry, our lovely sister who probably isn't here now. She might be here back later. So 20 ecosystems that have been given legal personhood. Okay, legal personhood. This means they have the same rights as a living person. Lydia, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate your kind energy and voice. That's really sweet of you. That's very generous of you, very kind of you. Thank you for choosing to support me, Lydia, truthfully. Very, very, very lovely, and it helps me out massively. It helps me out from absolution. Eventually that won't be the case, I promise you, but that's very, very kind of you. Thank you, Lydia. Really, really lovely. I'll give it a like too. There you go, look. Does it show up? I think it might do. Very kind. Okay. So, 20 ecosystems that have been given personhood. So first of all, Karina is going to have to forgive me because I need to fully remember the pronunciation. But the Wanganui River in Aotearoa. Sorry, Karina, you'll have to correct me, my dear. The Arato River in Colombia. The Magpie River in Canada. Remember, these have all been given legal rights. That means that they have the right to exist with clean water, clean air, a clean ecosystem. They can't be violated by gold mines. They can't be poisoned by industrial agriculture or monstrous corporations. Right? This right here is where warning the stream what? What the stream? The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use... Okay, hold on, guys. What's going on? Stream status good. That's weird. How do I change the bitrate? What's happening? Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Not sure what's happening here. Can everybody just drop a message in the comments and let me know if everything is all good? It's still got that warning message, which isn't great. Settings. Bitrate should be fine. You're fine. Audio is fine. Appreciate that, Stephen. Very, very much. See your desktop background. I know, it shouldn't be too... I've only got... It's mostly David. I know you can see the desktop background, but it's David. I've taken whatever off there. Let me just... whoopsie. Let's come back over. All good for me. How weird. Nancy, welcome. Thank you for being here. Arsney, thank you for tuning in as well, by the way. Let's come back then. I don't know what happened there. Very weird. All right. Well, very bizarre. Okay, I think it might just be an internet drop. That's fine. We're back up to 6,000. Oh, we're good now. Excellent. All right, we're good now. Your screen's froze for a moment. No worries. All right, guys. Well, I think now we should be good. So we've got the Magpie River in Canada, which was given legal personhood. Remember, so this means they have rights. And that means that the people can then also defend these natural ecosystems. So we have the Ganges River, the Ganges and Yamuna River in India, although this one's a bit tricky because apparently the India government and military haven't enforced this. So these rivers are still quite heavily polluted, which is very unfortunate, but that's more of a tricky one. We've got the Klamath River in the United States, legal personhood. Lake Erie in the United States, the Parana Delta in Argentina, Vilcabamba River in Ecuador, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, all the rivers of Panama. Now that's amazing. So every single river in Panama has legal personhood, legal right. Mount Taranaki, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Aotearoa, New Zealand. Sorry, Karina. Aotearoa. It's called being over the target. What do you mean, Katie? Sorry, I don't know if you're mentioning about the glitches that we just had. The Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. The Los Crados Cloud Forest in Ecuador. The Colorado River in the United States. The Maranon River in Peru. Mar Menor Lagoon in Spain, Tapajos in Brazil, Manumin, USA, Lake Winnipeg, and the Chiquita River in Ecuador. Now, supposedly, Let me just come over here a sec. Supposedly, there's meant to be 500 of these initiatives either completed or in process. I didn't manage to get onto the website because it needed some kind of a sign up and it wouldn't let me access it. But the link was to 500 of these ecosystems that have been given personhood. That means these ecosystems have rights. You know, that is to me immensely powerful. Now, if you want to know where I got this information from, you can come down here to the icmagazine.org, 20 stories of nature rights across the globe. So you can have a look there for yourself. Some of these images I did have to get off of Canva, but a lot of them were from the website. So the images is from Canva and that website. So I believe that we are now ready for our third meditation. Just having a look at some of the comments here. Thanks in the chat, beloved hearts, for your support on the idea of the free sessions to practice and support you as a gift to this community for your love and support of James and David. Yep. So we're good on the stream now, which is good. Suzanne says, yes, James' mother is adorable for raising a gorgeous child like James. That's very humbling of you to say. Thank you. It's a very sweet thing to say. Brizzy says it's David, no doubt. Nicole Willis, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Prince Royal. Martha, got it good here. Hi, Martha. I'm not sure if I've seen you comment yet, but welcome. Thank you so much for being here and being with us. That's very kind of you. A Real Creation says, fine and dandy, all good, all good. Brilliant. I don't know what that was on my end, but very odd. Arsney says, you heard about the 11 beavers that restored some river area in Scotland and prevented more floods. My sister showed me a video about it. Really interesting. I would love to see that video. If you'd be willing to send that to me, I'd be really grateful for that. Yeah, beavers are amazing. Again, beavers are supposed to be looking after our rivers without us having to do anything. That's the whole point of them. You know, that's the whole intelligent design of them. So it's really, really amazing. So, right, okay. Well, let's go into our next meditation. Okay, so let's come across to here. Just grab the poem so that we've got it available. Oh, you could see that anyway. Well, that's fine. You can see it. There's a lot of slides there's still got the forest gardening ones in here as well. So, right. Katie says, yay, my water comes from the Colorado River. I love that. That's amazing. Well, your Colorado River is a legal person, so it's the spirit of that river is definitely nourishing you. Right, guys, so take a nice deep breath in. Absolutely, we are blessed. We are blessed indeed. Okay, so bring yourself into the present moment. Allow yourself to relax, see behind your eyes, so that you can really bring yourself right here, right now, in the present moment. I would like to invite you to take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just relax. I want to begin by thanking each and every one of you for being present. We are about to take full advantage of the meditation effect, or the Maharishi effect. And with this meditation, we very well could be affecting events and people all over the planet in a positive, loving, kind and compassionate way. We could be giving people hope, helping to create beneficial outcomes, loving environments, and peace and calm for thousands of people across the world. So as you see on the screen, I would like to share with you, as usual, my I am with you prayer. And so it goes as follows. Great Spirit, I am with you, I am present, and I am here. We give thanks to the people of plant and stone, to the people who stand where their roots have now grown. We give thanks to those who crawl and who creep, to those with fins who swim in the deep. We give thanks to great eagle and those with wings, whose wisdom and truth Father Sky brings. We give thanks to the chiefs of fire and air, of water and Mother Earth, whose healing we bear. Grandfather Sun and Grandmother Moon, you are the light and we are the tune. Medicine walks reveal what you give, the language of love as the reason we live. Whirling rainbow brings a promise of peace, of uniting all nations, all peoples, and all creeds. From our hearts to our roots to our crowns above, may we learn all our lessons and be open to love. We give thanks to the directions on the sacred wheel, whose guidance speaks on the winds that heal. We stand for all that is right and true, so that your loving light may shine on through. The presence of light, or Christ, resides in our hearts. May we forgive all those who miss their mark, as well as ourselves when we stumble and fall, and fail to uphold the highest of all. We walk this path in service to others, for nature, children, our sisters and brothers. Our minds are quiet and our hearts revealed. The earth is restored and her children are healed. Dana ho wio, Great Spirit, it is said and it is good. Namaste and Amen. Once again, I give my thanks to you. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. Thank you once again, Brother David, for all you've done. And I leave you now for a few moments to yourself, to share anything you'd like. Alright guys, so when you're ready, please feel free to come back. Please feel free to share anything that you're grateful for, anything that came to you during that moment in time. I would love to hear it in the comments. I will share again that I'm, of course, grateful to you. I'm grateful for everything we're talking about. And I'm grateful for the future that is very much real and very much inevitable. Free Queen says, beautiful, James. Thank you, Free Queen. It's very kind of you. Zoichko with the love, appreciate that. Suzanne, Soul Coach Suzanne, you have a special gift. Many blessings to you and love you all, absolutely. Blas says the rewilding effort is one of the largest grassland restoration programs in the world. Interesting. What have I missed here? Here we go. By 2000, Przewalski's? That's Przewalski, isn't it? I think I've nailed that one. I don't know. Przewalski's horses, also known as the Kurtaki, or Mongolian wild horses. They are the last truly wild horses on Earth and were once declared extinct in the wild in the 1960s, of course. How sad. Mongolian reserves, such as Hustai National Park in the 1990s. Today, hundreds roam free across the country. I love that. By 2026, the reintroduced populations surpassed 900 animals, thriving in places like the Dunhuang Jihu. That's got to be right, surely. Nature Reserve in Gansu Province. Kazakhstan, in collaboration with the Prague Zoo and the Altin Dala Conservation Initiative, hundreds of were reintroduced in the Golden Steppe. Beautiful. I love that. Beautiful. Zoichka says, everyone leave a like if you can. Let's help more people. That's really kind of you. Yeah, if you haven't already, I know a lot of you will have done. Drop a like on the stream. That would be a really beautiful thing to do. Hildaga is a great film. Yes, it is. Actually, we should watch that again. Sounds like you're whispering. What is going on? Hold on a second, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Is that any better? If it gets any closer, guys, I might just have to put the mic inside my mouth so that you can hear it. That's probably too loud. Sorry, it's going into the red. If I hurt anybody's eardrums there, I deeply apologise. Is it still quiet? Am I still whispering? Now can I hear? I know, audio is fine. I don't know what's going on. It's very weird. What is happening? Is it fine now, or was it fine before, or is it just David? It's probably just David, to be honest. It's loud and clear to me. Now fine. Oh, okay. Great now. Carolina, appreciate you. Tree Dog. ASMR Jet. Alright, Tree Dog. I definitely think that's one thing we ain't bringing into the live, okay? That's a very delicate topic right there. Mum says all good. Bridine sounds good. When you are softer, it gets very quiet. Okay, Asuna. I'm really upset. I don't know what's going on, guys. Very interesting. I do have to maximize the volume compared to other times. Really weird. But could be my phone. It's been good most of the live. All right. Well, I very much appreciate your feedback, guys. Thank you for letting me know. Odd. Very weird. Anyway, it's good stuff. You know, we like to have a few technical difficulties. It keeps us alive. Keeps the blood flowing. Soul Coach Suzanne says, that was beautiful, James. I had a vision of a new Earth community filled with kindness, generosity and love, much like you are creating here. We are planting the seeds for it each Sunday. I agree with you massively. I really do. You know, we're creating, you know, ever since the first live, you know, we've been doing something really wonderful, really beautiful here. So I've been posting it out to different places, you know, trying to make people aware just so they can, you know, come and join us. But either way, it's absolutely perfect. So Deborah says, James, would it be alright if I copy your prayer? It ties in with my shamanic training of the Wolf Medicine Society with the Lakota Sioux. Oh, please educate me, Deborah. Sioux? On the Rosebud Reservation, I feel very drawn to it. Absolutely, 100%. Deborah, go into the description of this video and you will find the link for it. So I've had the link there for the past 5 live streams, 5 or 6. So, absolutely. And Deborah, if you can educate me on Danahoeo, is that Sioux? Because I follow... They're over there. I can't reach to grab them. But I follow my Sacred Path cards and my medicine cards by Jamie Sams. I've been desperate for somebody of native knowledge to... Oh, Sioux. Sioux. Thank you, Deborah. Apologies for getting that wrong. So the Lakota Sioux on the Rosebud Reservation. I very much appreciate you correcting me there. That's kind of what I want. I really want somebody to correct me with this. So, yeah, if you've got any feedback, if you can message me on Facebook or whatever, I would love to know. I really would. I've been trying to find a community so people can correct me. I've kind of just been going. But you're more than welcome to share the poem. Absolutely. Free Queen says, I personally am being tested by my various technology. Poor laptop. We didn't even get a chance to say goodbye properly, so don't mind me. It's all right. That's fine. Wonderful, thanks. I believe it might be Kiowa. Danaho Kiowa. Really? Well, that would be really interesting to share. Carolina, what card are you talking about? Okay, all right, 1 second, guys. Hold on. All right, I've got to do it. Give me 2 seconds. This is the first time that I've gone off camera in 7 live streams. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, I'm here. Have no fear. I'm still here. Okay. Coming back. It's not easy to be... I'll get with you on this subject. Yeah, I would love that. Absolutely love that, please. So, medicine cards. These, actually, let's go here first. Kiowa. Danaho Kiowa. Kiowa? We'll have to chat afterwards, but I very much would appreciate that. So here is my Sacred Path cards. Right there, Sacred Path. Jamie Sams. It's true, no pee break. I haven't had a single pee break. I have trooped on through. One day it might happen. I'm kind of moving away from my drinks a bit so that I can last the whole stream. But I'm all good. Sacred Path cards. So these are my old reliables. I've had these since I was 19 years old. I'm 31 now, 32 this year. So what's that? 12 years? 12 years. Sacred Path and medicine cards. They are my old reliables. Anybody is interested in those things, or you just want to learn about native knowledge, I would just absolutely guarantee going to invest in these. They are the softest, most humble, most gentle and loving guiding cards ever. They are awesome. Okay, medicine cards, Sacred Path cards, Jamie Sands. You can tell by the state of these books how long I've used these from. Well, they're okay. I look after my stuff, but these have had a lot of use out of them, you know. So yeah, absolutely. Yakish, I have my mum's medicine cards. Absolutely love it. Free Queen says, just film something for 6 minutes like David's turkeys and you can have a pee break. It's kind of sad because I really got upset watching David's his house videos that he did when we first learned of the news. I couldn't stop crying watching it. It was not good. But anyway, could do. It's one way. What are we on now? 2 hours, 27, an hour left. Can I hold on? We'll find out, guys. We'll find out. David would go off for food per break halfway, and we'd watch clips of Monica the Moose. I mean, look, I love that. You know, it's not a bad thing to do. And look, I'm not putting myself under immense stress or pressure. I promise you that. So if I really needed to go, I certainly would. I know you'd be fine with it. Yeah, so that's the cards. Right, so let's keep going, guys. There's still a few things to go. One thing I do want to mention at this point is just remember that what I'm feeling now, there is an avenue that we can start to go down with regards to restoring the land to the people. You know, if the Crown Monarchy has admitted once that it stole land, then it can admit it again. And I feel that once we've got enough people... Law of One cards. Very cool, Linda. Can you share that? No puddles on the floor. Look, you wouldn't know, though, okay? There's a good cut-off here. You wouldn't know if there was... You'd hear it, actually, so you would know. But or we would watch Colin McGeezer. I mean, there's that, too. I'm going to have to find a few snippets of David's characters and put them into the next live, maybe. Maybe. You know, I know people were here and all there. I miss David, but being with James is great as well. That's really kind of you guys, you know. And that, but look, I mean, this is the beauty: is that we're weaving David into what we're talking about. You know, we're doing the meditations with David. So, you know, I still like to think that we're not watching, you know, sort of, I suppose, hours of David's old lives. Maybe one day we could. I don't know. I don't know when David's birthday is. Does anybody know? Maybe we could do a birthday stream or something. I don't know. Wade says, it's been fun. I got to go to run. See you soon. Great show. Thanks so much, Wade. Love you lots, buddy. You take care of yourself, and we'll catch you in the next one. So thank you for being here. Frequent says, I decided to give myself a break from hearing David's voice. I get that. You know, I get that. I really do. You know, it's whatever healing is needed, whatever you feel. You know, it's humbling to me to know that. Do you know what? I want to say this. You guys humble me on a weekly basis, because to know that people have such a capacity to love a human being the way you do, you're all the hope I could ever need in our world. You know, I could meet, and the next 10,000 people could be horrible, nasty people who are trying to be horrible and nasty. And I'd always remember that you guys come here, your love shared for David, your love shared for me as well, is tremendously humbling. Thank you, Deborah. 5th of March 1973. Blessing. March 8th or 5th. Do you guys know which one for sure? So we've missed it then. January, February, March. Oh, that's a shame. I remember March 8th because mine's March 7th. Okay then. Lydia says David's birthday is March the 8th. Okay. Well, we're going to be here March. We'll do it then. I wonder if March is on an 8th. Either way, we'll celebrate it for sure. I've had lots of grief the last 4 years too. Sorry about your dad. Sorry, Free Queen, have I missed a comment? I'm a sensitive water sign, and I'm tired of grief. My own dad's soon be gone 1 year, and I'm sorry to hear that, Free Queen. That's unfortunate, and I couldn't imagine how you feel, and my love and my heart goes with you. You know, it really does. I hope that, you know, knowing that on the other side of things, you know, my mother's dream with that whirling rainbow portal, feeling her mother on the other side, that's where our loved ones are. I believe they're in that other world. I believe they're in that place of light where it's love, it's compassion. We're met by our loved ones, we're met by our guides, and instantaneously you're held. You know, regardless of the nature of your passing, you're held. That's what I feel. You know, so I hope I'm not encroaching on anything there, but I feel in my heart, and perhaps that can give some solace. It's hard though. Human life is hard, you know. To not know. We should do a Zoom live and on another. Absolutely could look at it. Absolutely. Why not? You know. He was here in March. Yeah, he was. Yeah, guys. Look, 7 lives. 7 lives. 3 hours and 33 minutes. We've kept coming together. You know. We have kept coming together. That really speaks volumes. You know. I tip my hat to all of you for coming to do that. David's birthday was March 8th, I believe. 2 days mine. Oh, March 6th. Oh, guys, so we've got a lot of people who have birthdays are in March. Well, dab nabbit. We've got a few months until we get back around, but on Zoom we can see each other cry. I mean, yeah, you guys heard me blowing my nose, which I did not intend for at all. Bless you guys. That was when we first did the live and I was trying to make everything work, and anyway. Right, well, let's get through some of the information, because we're 2 hours 32, so we're almost an hour left. Okay, we've almost got an hour left, so let's just have a look here. We've gone through the Enclosure Acts. Oh, one thing I want to share with you guys, actually. I hope you're okay with this. So, I don't want to move the cable. So one thing I want to share with you is 2 things. So I hope you're ready for this. So firstly, I've been working on my compendium of species. Now, you might not be able to see this very well. I'm hoping, can I not present this? That's really weird. Why can't I present that? Okay. Can I? There we go. So this right here is what I've been creating to organise all of the information for every single plant and species out there. So it might be a bit small. Can you see that all right? It might be a bit small, but anyway, I'll just have... Can I zoom in? I can't, can I? Hold on a second. Let's go back. We can zoom in. I know we can. So we'll zoom in here a bit. So what we've got here is I chose gooseberries first, Ribes uva crispa. And we've got like, you know, an introduction, what the leaves and the fruit and the blossom looks like, the birds that it attracts, the beneficial insects, the pests that you have to deal with so that you can design and plan your forest garden properly, what you're going to get from gooseberries nutritionally and the uses with baking and drinks and fermenting, the companion plants like borage, marigolds, white clover, comfrey, strawberries. So I'm just making this at the minute. It's going to take years to properly finish this. But I'm making this at the minute. I'm going to try and do 7 species a day. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know. But basically, this can be something that people use to know exactly the information they need to know about each species when it comes to their forest garden. So, you know, you can sow the saplings or the cuttings, because mostly with a gooseberry you want to take cuttings. So you can plant early in the year, and then you can harvest the berries around June, July and August. You know, and then you've got the different cultivars, so different types of gooseberries that you've got here. And then the taxonomy, needs and tolerances. I haven't finished this yet, but you know, this is all information that's important when it comes to designing a forest garden. So this is something that you know, is possible. I am recovering as I escaped out, so I hadn't been in touch with my folks for a decade. Dad came sick by 4 days prior to his death. Oh, well, listen, Free Queen, if it's any consolation, you know, I only have my mother and father. The rest of the family is completely estranged. I don't know any of them. You know, so it's like, you know, I'm fully there with you. You know, ever since I was a young boy, I didn't really have any family at all. And it was, you know, that can be quite a lonely experience, but, you know, it builds character. So that just know I feel you there. You should write an ebook with this information. Well, you know, that's the idea. So if you look down in this little corner here, it's got 269. I've basically been gathering all of the species to do with the United Kingdom. So this temperate climate in the United Kingdom, I've been gathering as many as I possibly can, and then eventually this will be available. Now, another thing I have that I could show you, I'll show you next week. Next week I'll show you the 20 documents that I have that can, again, help clarify and make it easier to do a forest garden. But yeah, so gooseberries. So that's the idea. I'm still just finishing these to make sure that it's really good, and then I'll do it. So the yields that you can get, the lifespan of the plant, you know, what it does, whether it's a nitrogen fixer or a dynamic accumulator. We'll go into this and break this down later. It's just, you know, in time, I'll you know, develop this and bring it forward. But I think it's important to have a very clear example of every single species, because they're complex. You know, look at this, like the different habitats that they live in, the architecture of the plant, which is important, because remember, just going to give you my eyeballs a sec. You've got the 7 layers of the forest: the upper canopy, lower tree, shrub, herbaceous layer, ground cover layer, the root layer in the soil, and the vine layer. Right? There are many species of fruits and berries, so many. You know, and they've all got different habitats, different patterns. So you can use that, right? We can use the intelligence of nature. Oh, Tammy, that's really kind of you. Lisa, thank you all for the lovely words. That's really sweet of you. Oh, bless you guys. Oh, Suzanne says, I have no one, but I have myself, lol, and listen every Sunday. Well, Suzanne, look, I mean, maybe there's ways of finding people, you know, locally. You know, is there anybody locally you can connect with? You know, Mother, I hope you don't mind me saying it, but I know my mother feels that. You know, we live out in the sticks in the mountains. You know, I know Annie can. I think we all feel that. You know, we all are wanting community. We all want our little piece of paradise. We all want community. We want to be together around loving, kind, decent, good people. You know, not afraid of you know, people becoming nasty or toxic, just people that are free. When a person is free, they're more likely to be the best version of themselves. And if they're the best version of themselves, guess what? Then you're more likely to embody love. So yeah. Brizzy says, if you make a book, James, sign me up, I want one. Well, for years and years I said I would never write a book until I had something worth saying and something worth printing the ink on the pages. And everything we're talking about, I have actually reopened my book tab. Do you want to see that? Shall I show you? Well, I'll show you another time. But I've got a document where it's got the book layout and the chapters, and eventually we'll start writing this book. And I think you guys can guess what it's going to be about. New Zealand, beautiful country. Nicole says it really breaks it down for people. We need this information so desperately. Bless you for it. I appreciate that, And look, I tried to set things up on 2 farms and it didn't work. We started planting, started growing, starting building infrastructure. It didn't work, and I'm not on land at the minute. So I would love to be able to take you out to my gooseberry bush, but I can't. It's 2.5 years that I've been so manifesting this coming forward, and I know it's coming very soon, but wow, it's been a long time. So I'm doing I'm doing everything I can behind the scenes to get ready. So this is something that I'm really been spending a lot of time on. This is the other thing. So this is the Great United Garden of Britain. This is the document that's in process, guys. All right? This is the document that's in the works. It's not finished yet. We're still playing with it, but I thought I'd give you a brief look. We've got, the solution, which is the forest garden. It might be a bit too much. We've got to, just go with it. We've got restoring the Great United Garden of Britain. It was just a name I was playing with, but again, it resolved. The other document is the Great Global Garden. We've got the Plant for Victory, which is like the Dig for Victory, but it's a play on it. And then the Revival of the Ancient Garden. Now, I might go through this with you in the next few lives, but we're working on it. This is it's a work in progress. It will become a constitution or a directive or a policy for a political party. And then once we've got weight behind us and we've got, something that people can feel is legitimate, we can start going forward, and really making things happen. So this is basically the benefits, the restoration of the ecosystems and the soil, the personal benefits. And I've been working on pages 5 and 6, but I haven't quite finished that yet. I also wanted to share with you, so this is a post I created, which again is just AI data centers banned by the Seminole Nation. That's what I forgot in the beginning of the live. The Seminole Nation becoming the first indigenous group to ban AI data centers from its lands. Big news. I felt like this was very big news. You can see over here the amount of people who are engaging. Facebook is pushing every post I have. This is another one that I did. 1.6 thousand people, 141 comments. This is really positive, guys. Right? Let me come here. What this tells me is it's time. This tells me that it's time. This tells me that we're starting to be heard. All right? We're starting to be heard. So it's time for families to be given back their 2.5 acres of land each year, 100 million hectares of soil. I was, said that there's another chance it should be, maybe said in tons, but 100 million hectares of soil is lost. We will reserve this. And I put a big set of, big description paragraph of words for it. You guys are more than welcome to come over and read if you'd like. And the last one, this one was, so I wanted to say very positive, slightly focusing on the negative, but still, I'm weaving in the message of the Great Global Garden. So this got 2.3 thousand, 469. It's working, guys. It's working. Yeah, it's literally, it's now finally working. So I just said about this, and I said these are crazy times, but there is hope in the horizon. So I wanted to share that with you, just to continue giving you that hope that, we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, guys. So our next one is, 24, 40. So we'll probably do our next meditation shortly. So let's get through these next 2 slides and then we'll keep going. Hopefully you guys are okay with the format today. I might have gone back to the chat a little bit more than usual, but hopefully that's all right. All right. So going back over the 20 places that got given personhood. What does this mean? So this is the source. They are opening chapters of a global transformation that is restoring balance with the living world. For indigenous nations, It's a return to traditional law that colonial systems try to erase. But it is not enough to pass symbolic resolutions. These rights must be defended, enforced, and lived out in practice. I feel this is a bit AI, by the way, so this is where I got it from up here. You'll have to forgive me if it sounded a little bit AI. I thought it was a bit AI, so we'll just have to see. But it's okay. It's wonderful information anyway. That means reimagining economies built on extraction, money and what you can get out of it. Challenging governments that treat ecosystems as expendable and creating guardianship that is rooted in responsibility. The movement for the rights of nature is, at its heart, a call to reciprocity. It reminds us that justice cannot stop at human borders. When rivers are free to flow, when forests are allowed to thrive, when mountains are honoured as living ancestors, humanity too has a future. Isn't that nice? A little ode to David there. But it is not enough to pass symbolic resolutions. This is a bit AI. These rights must be defended, enforced, and lived out. That's all the same. We've already said it. So we're not going to say that again because, yeah, it's already done. Sorry about that. Forgot about those paragraphs. I was supposed to delete them. Let's have a look here. Katie says they are building a data center in my hometown in Mason County, West Virginia, and it flooded out the whole community. As in the people came out to stop it, because that's incredible. I absolutely love that. Lynn West, they're going to be building a data center near Port Talbot. Well, this is the thing, guys. Look, maybe you can unite the people. Maybe there's an opportunity here where we can gather. So Katie, Lynn, if you can let me know what areas you're talking about, maybe we can make a post about it. Maybe Facebook will target your local people and we can start to band the people together to stop this happening. You know, I'm deadly serious about that. So come across to the... sorry, guys, I know that I'm being a bit all over the place at the minute. Please come across, if you haven't already, to the Great Global Garden. Please join us here. Please come and follow us. This is the community where we're mainly present. Please share either with me in private messenger. So this is my profile. This is my Facebook profile here. Please feel free to come and give me a friend request. Follow me here. Message me. And let me know where you're from and where the data center is. Let's do a post. Let's try and gather the people. I'm serious, right? Because the question then is, how do we unite the people? Let's try and do it. Okay? So come across, follow the group, message me. So Katie said, Mason County, West Virginia. Mother or Annie, could you write that down, please? And Lynn said, Port Talbot. Let's try and do something. I'm deadly serious. Okay. Brisley says, I really want to grow lilacs and gooseberries. I'm a gamer. Why lilacs and gooseberries? I used to be an insane gamer. I don't as much anymore. I'm enjoying a bit of Minecraft at the minute. But why lilacs and gooseberries? Is that part of a game that I don't know? Is it Ratchet and Clank? I love Ratchet and Clank. It isn't Ratchet and Clank. I just wanted you to know how far back my gaming energy goes. So, a real creation says, I would love nothing more than to grow my own food and live in my own place. Can be something modest. Of course, you know, and what could be more modest than the Garden of Eden? You know, that's just, you know, the forest garden literally is presenting that. So I agree with you completely. I hope I haven't missed any comments, guys. I love you all dearly. I'll keep... Oh, Deborah says, a rough draft of your future manuscript. Absolutely. You know, so I'm working on it as hard as I can with as much as I can. We're making it happen, guys. Might be a political party in the future, and again, I'm deadly serious about that. Why not? Brizzy, The Witcher is the one thing I've never played. I've tried 3 times, but because I'm older now, I tried it recently. Well, like last year or so. Because I'm older, I know that I'm going to have to sink hours into it, and I haven't got them hours anymore. It's seriously unfortunate. So, but I love that. I'm glad that you can enjoy that for me. So, all right, guys. What I would like to do now... That was a really weird... What was that? It just flew off. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to go into our next meditation. We have 2 more. One of them is going to be with us. The next one is with David. So let's just come out of here a second. Sorry if it's been all over the place, guys. It's, today we'll go with it today. I think last week was very good, our format. I think people enjoyed that a lot, and I think that, it's exciting. There's so many things we're talking about, and, I want to chat with you. I want to talk about stuff. It's, it's all good. Juaravi says the Rio Grande River is going dry due to AI data centers built near the river in Mexico. It's heinous and needs to stop. Well, then we need to add that to the list as well. Yeah, Tammy. So we are on. I'll say that at the end. We're on Telegram and Discord. So please come and I'm very grateful, by the way, to those of you who've joined on Discord and Telegram. Please, I promise you that. I'm finding it hard to get back to everybody, so I do need some help with sort of moderators and things. But Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Okay, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Well, again, Mum, Annie, if you can write that down for me, that would be amazing. We'll save that after. David taught us how to connect to the divine. I am eternally grateful. I agree with you, Yakish. Absolutely. And we're going to be with David again in just a second. Great stuff, James. Appreciate that, brother. Yakish, very kind of you. Tammy says I'm not on. I'm so sorry I'm not on Facebook. That's okay, Tammy. Telegram. All right, let me show you real quick. So, here on Telegram. So, wow, I didn't know that did that. So we've got the Mary. Oh, bless you guys. So thank you for the comments. So you can see here we've got a lovely community starting here. 30 people I post in when we're live on Telegram. So you can see that here. So you can come and follow us. If you're not on Telegram, there is also Discord. But look, at the very least, I'll make sure that I'm, posting on YouTube plenty. You can email me. It's my email. Let's post that down. Yelena and a few other people, you've been very kind to email me and I haven't got back to you. So, Tammy, if you have any anything to send over, please do. You can send it to my email. Guys, email, I'm really struggling. That's the one that's very hard for me to get back to because you can't, you've got to send a full proper reply. So that's my email, but take a screenshot of that or whatever. You can message me. I'll do my best. But love you all. I'm on it. I am on it. I am getting back to people slowly. All right, guys. Meditation. Let's come back together. Yes, we should, Andromeda. I totally agree with you. For Telegram, we should have a discussion on there too. We should. Okay. So, just get yourself nice and relaxed. Bring yourself into the present moment. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out through your mouth, just relax. If you didn't know already, nasal breathing is a very powerful thing to do. Just breathing in and out through the nose. Very, very good. I'll try and talk loud enough, but soft enough for it to be a meditation. Allow yourself to come into this present moment. And once again, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. I want you to know that whatever is happening right now in your life, you are loved. You are loved by me. You are loved by our community. You are loved by Great Spirit. The great mystery of life is opening up that communication with all that is, the Creator, God, the universe. Sometimes it can feel a little quiet, can feel a little concerning. But just know that no matter how quiet it is, you are loved. Your intentions are seen. They know that we are in a state of global limitation or perceived limitation. They know that you are doing your best, and they know you always have done your best. So rest a moment. Feel the warm embrace of the universe around you. In the space around you is unconditional love. That air that is alive, that air that we vitally need to remain conscious. Only a few moments and that's it, without the life-giving force of our air. The air around you is loving you right now. As you breathe in, it is literal unconditional love. I would like for us to focus our attention or invite you. I always want to invite you, never tell you. I'd like to invite you to focus upon your heart. As usual, see that beautiful golden light emanating from your heart. And as it slowly radiates outwards, out from your chest, out from your physical body, out of your home, your town or city, your country, and finally to envelop the entire earth. This is your power. This is your connection to all that is. Your heart is cradling the earth in a golden love just by the intention of your mind and heart. You are an infinite soul in a physical body, and as you see your heart space cradling the earth, it is so. People are feeling your love. Those who are sad, crying, feeling lost, desperate, they feel your love right now in this moment. And as we rise, as we evolve, as we return to goodness and decency, our future children benefit cosmically in ways that is impossible to quantify. Our future children wake up on the warm grass on a summer's day, having slept outside under the stars all night long. Butterflies gently landing on their forehead or their hand, fully interacting with our beautiful future children. That child wanders over to the blueberry bush, where these beautiful, plump, sweet, juicy, nutritionally dense blueberries are laying in wait, gently anticipating the offering of love to this beautiful child. And as this little child picks the blueberries off the bush, kisses a leaf or gives a little bow because they know the connection of nature, And they eat these blueberries, straight off the bush. They are taking in the life force of that bush immediately. Nourished, body, mind, and spirit. On every level. And that is all because of you and I. Holding each other's hands. Standing together. Uniting and coming together every Sunday. To talk, discuss, and meditate on the restoration of a global garden. That future child has experienced that right here and right now because of you and I. Isn't that nice? We've sent that image out into the future, and it is so. It's done. We shall complete our task. We shall fulfill our goal. We will complete the whirling rainbow prophecy and unite all nations, all peoples, and all creeds towards this beautiful image of our future. Now, when you're ready, if you have, bring that golden sphere slowly back towards your heart space, knowing that that sphere is infinitely protected, impeccably supported, pure love. It's coming back, bringing all the love of the trees, the animals, nature that could feel fully present and feel your heart space. It can feel your heart space coming all the way back, right to the center of your heart. I'll say it again. Know that you're loved dearly by me and by the universe in inconceivable ways. They love at a level that is just amazing. I'll leave you now for a few moments to yourself. And when you're ready, bring yourself back to the room. Danahawio, Namaste, and Amen. Okay, guys, when you're ready, please feel free to come back. Oh, tree dog. Bless you, brother. That's extremely sweet of you to do. Thank you, my friend. Thank you to both of you. That's really kind of you. That support is honestly, my friend, it's humbles me truly. Very, very kind. Love you lots. Alright, guys, so one thing that you are grateful for, I have to admit, guys, I have to admit that really was nice. Just that image of that little kiddie going up to the blueberry bush, that was nice. That just came to me, so that's really sweet. Thank you, Tree Dog. Very kind of you for that support, my friend. Tammy, that was lovely, James. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Annie, deeply beautiful meditation. Thank you. Very sorry for those. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Annie. Suzanne, thank you for that love as well. Tree Dog, bless you, brother. Free Queen, I appreciate that very much. Brizzy, yeah, thanks, my friend. Appreciate that. So, yeah, anything you're grateful for, guys, anything that came to you just then, would love to hear it. Very kind of you, Tree Dog. Really, really kind, my friend. Everybody who donated today, again, look, guys, I promise you exactly for what I said. It's not expected, but it's very, very gratefully received. You know, Really is. And Tom, great meditation, James. Thank you, Tom. That's very, very kind of you, my friend. Really is. Thank you for that support. Tree Dog, Tom, kind of you. You know, it's a huge help for you to support me. You know, you guys are genuinely keeping me going. And look, you shouldn't have to. Like, genuinely, I mean that. You shouldn't have to. You know, we should all be able to just do what we got to do. But you really are. You're easing my concerns with my present situation. So I love you all very much. Tom, it's extremely kind of you. Tree Dog, very kind of you, honestly. Anything is a great support. So, you know, thank you all very much. You've all been very kind today in support, words, financially, on both sides. Very kind of you. I'll give you a love art as well, my friend. I don't know if it comes up that I do, but can I give you a like there too? Oh, it looks like it's already is. So anyway, so Deborah says, James, you can use the donations to start your book. I mean, yeah. First of all, I've got to kind of fill the food cupboards, but it's definitely helping. You know, because I thought about loads of ideas with the book, how you could make it sort of different, but we'll have to see. Soul Coach Suzanne says, James, these are so beautiful. I'm deeply grateful for the love we share here now and that we keep going. And I agree with you, Suzanne, and the love straight to you as well. Tammy says, James, don't worry, you are very busy creating this lovely work. It will come. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a really nice comment to say, Tammy. I know that in my bones. I really do. It's, you know, the way I know exactly what you're saying with the funds. The way the universe works sometimes is just odd. You know, I've always been supported. You know, from when I was a young lad, a teenager. My last job I was a prison officer, so I used to work in a prison. That was the last job I had, and then everything from there was either businesses or coaching or clients and things like that. I did internet marketing for a while. We had a lot of support with Guy and Earth that came through, so we had £50,000 come through 6 years ago, but between 3 or 4 people, the journey of life, that doesn't last forever when you're sharing a wage and then in time. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I know that the support is on its way. We are as clear as ever now, and so I do massively feel that we're very close. So very humbling, guys. Tammy, I agree with you. I appreciate all your support as well. And Asana says, just a gentle reminder to push the like button to push this video for YouTube. Yeah, and thanks, guys. If you are willing, I've told you before, because I just think it interrupts too much. You know, to get an advert like this conversation is important and it shouldn't be interrupted. So yeah. Andromeda, wow, James, you're so kind, soft and too nice for a prison. Who would think? I know, isn't it hilarious? I'm a walking enigma. I tell you one thing though. Linda says a hero's journey. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Absolutely, you're dead right. You know, it's the hero's journey. I was told 2 to 3 times in the prison that I would never be assaulted in the prison service by the people who were there because of the way I treated them. I treated them with love and compassion, regardless of what they did. It was my wake-up call, because when I was in that prison, I mean, you know, I'm a man of justice. I'm a man of what's right. I'm a man that you should never infringe upon the free will or the state of another person's human nature. You should never harm another person. And there were all kinds of people in there. But I realised, I'm like, this place is devoid of love. It's absolutely devoid of love. And we're on 444 views, which is quite curious, actually. We're on 444 views. So yeah, it was devoid of love. And, you know, I was there... You know, I was there for about a year before the universe took me out of it. You know, I remember it to this day, I was sat in the office and I was around and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, get me out of it. I ain't doing this anymore. And I did. And so the universe brought something along within a month. And that supported me up until now, you know. Well, up until Guy and Earth. And then I gave up everything because I knew that it was time to... The land was it now. We had to get back onto the land. Bradeen says, respect, then you respected them. Respect is a form of love. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. Much love, Soul Coach David is with the angels. Other past ancient alien guys, and yes, they have got into his head. Time to wear Faraday hat. Yeah, you know, I've been wanting to put my phones into a Faraday box for a while now. I agree, Andromeda. It's incredible James went from that to filling this role. God places angels. Oh, that's a really sweet comment to say. Well, we're all angels, you know. That's without a doubt. Who was it? Andromeda. Who was it? Who said that? Oh, it was yeah. Well, it's funny. You know, it's funny. You know, it was a very because I never wanted. I actually. I tell you what. I'll tell you a quick story. Would you like a quick story? I'll tell you a very quick story. What are we on? 3 hours and 8 minutes. Almost dead on. That's really good. So we're only 20 seconds behind. So, in the prison service, obviously, if somebody is acting up, you have to go in with multiple officers. You know, so you all go in, you have riot gear on, you've got a shield, and you go in to, you know, stop whatever's going on. And so there was this guy, and should I be saying this? Ooh, why am I getting a little whisper that maybe I shouldn't say this? Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to. That was weird. That is not often that I kind of get very gentle, spiritual hands on my shoulder. I'm not going to tell that story. Sorry, guys. The only point of the story is I eased off. So I eased off and I stopped inflicting because you subdue an individual and Suzanne, see you guys next week. Many blessings, love to you all. No worries, Suzanne. You take care of yourself. Love you lots. We'll see you next week. Yeah, I eased off, so I didn't hold on strong because they were holding on to cause pain. They wanted to cause the guy pain. They wanted to hurt the guy, and I was like, nah, this guy's done. You know, he was being very unreasonable, violent, and aggressive. But I eased off because I'm like, you know, this guy's had enough. And, you know, I don't want to inflict pain on people. That's vile. You know, it's truly vile. And they found it acceptable to do that. Blows my mind. Anyway. Moving on. Free Queen says, good catch. Yeah, I do. I don't know why, but I won't go any further with that. Tom says, listen to your guides. Cool, brother. Appreciate that. Respecting the nudges. Yeah, because, you know, it ain't the most average of things. And there's... You know, you got to be careful with sharing certain things. Tree Dog says kindness is the only way. I agree with you. I really do. I agree with you. All right, guys. So 22 minutes. 22 minutes. All right. Let's come back over and finish our slides. We're actually going to finish pretty good today, which is nice. Let's come across here. So, oh, yeah, because I want to get to that bit. Right. We're going to come across full monitor. I'm going to butcher most of these names, but we're going to do our best. So here we have, move out the way, Canva, thank you. T. Urawura. Sorry, Karina, you're going to have to let me know. So T. Urawura is the New Zealand rainforest that now has legal personhood. Or I say now. So there's a source, Karina. Orion magazine, you can go and have a look at that for yourself. Te Urawura Rainforest New Zealand legal entity. Meet Te Urawura, the New Zealand rainforest that has legal personhood. Oh, Asana, are you going as well? Wait. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, Suzanne, sorry. Yeah, Suzanne, well, it's a shame you can't stay to the end, but I love you lots, Suzanne. You take care, and we'll see you next Sunday. I hope you have an absolutely lovely week until then. Hopefully you can tune in next Sunday. Okay. In 2014, the Tuho Nation set a completely new precedent in the fight to regain their stolen land. Now, 10 years later, reconnecting new generations with Te Urawura is critical. Oh, Nancy, that's really kind of you. You guys are so sweet. I mean, that's really kind of you, Nancy. Thank you so much. And 22 is actually my sacred number. So the fact you've just donated 22 euros is really interestingly beautiful. Nancy says, thank you. Thanks for all that you do, James. Highly appreciated. I appreciate you very, very much, Nancy. That's really lovely. You've all been so generous today. And honestly, it helps so massively. You know, it really, really does. You're all very kind. So, Nancy, my darling, thank you so much for supporting me with that. It's really sweet of you. I'll give you a little like there. Come over and click the little love heart. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much. And Neoni, Neil Trinity. Neil, is that how I should be saying that? I think I've only just seen you tune in. I saw a comment before. I apologise if I didn't acknowledge you, but thank you for being here, my friend. I really appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you to tune in. Deborah says, I believe this land was sacred to the Maori people native to New Zealand. Absolutely. So it is, and it still is. In 2014, after 180 years of Tuho resistance, a groundbreaking New Zealand law granted legal personhood with all its rights and responsibilities to this rainforest. Te Urewera, a former national park and the spiritual homeland of the Tuho people. So this was coming from Kruger, the gentleman who I believe was leading this. I say believe, I apologise, I did read the whole thing, but Free Queen says, I'm paying conscious, focused attention to you, James, another form of energy, paying attention. Absolute, Free Queen, absolutely. No, 1000%. I just want to point out, anybody who is spending time with us on this live, you are offering the greatest gift you possibly could. You know, I want to equally thank both the financial support and the time support. They are, to me, of equal value. So please, nobody at all feel bad if you can't, spare a little to support. That genuinely, absolutely does not matter at all. I deeply appreciate you being here. That is it. Hands down. I promise you that from the bottom of my heart. Please never question that. That is not up for debate. I love you all dearly. Neil says, this is interesting news and I wonder what this could mean for our land here in the UK. Absolutely, my friend. And I would love to talk to you about this afterwards, because this is why I'm sharing it. I feel like if you can do this for the UK or the globe, I mean, if we can do it for a rainforest, what's stopping it from being the whole planet? There's something here. Yeah, there's something here and I'm feeling it coming forwards, and I think, we got to pursue this. It's special. So Mr. Kruger says, it never should have been a national park in the first place. It's a crime scene, stolen property. But wait for this, right? So this is going to get really good. Set in the middle of New Zealand's stingray-shaped North Island, Te Urewera's 800 square miles of rugged green ridges are Te Manawa o Te Ilka. Te Manawa o Te Ilka, the very heart of the fish Maui wrested from the sea. Again, Deborah, there was another individual here who was, I believe, from New Zealand. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing any of this wrong. The land is largely inaccessible except by horseback or helicopter and treasured for its immense ecosystem. That's highlighted for a reason. Groves of conifers that drip bright red berries, iridescent wood pigeons flashing above expansive ferns, blossoming manuka, brilliant lakes, waterfalls and rivers flowing north to the sea. Their kinship with the land, which they characterise as Kaitai Kitanga or guardianship, Kaitai Kitanga. I love that. That's a beautiful word. Kaitai Kitanga. That really, does that not sound really cool? Kaitai Kitanga. That's Kaitai Kitanga. I'm nailing that, aren't I? I'm pretty sure I'm nailing that. Or guardianship reflects a reciprocal relationship with Te Urewera, stretching beyond memory or written record. Tuho are born with obligations and responsibilities, not as, this is really good, not as people who own the land or people who take from the land, but tangata wenua, people who are of the land. Hear that? Isn't that powerful? People who are of the land. The native Maoris really get it. I must send my love to them. In the 1800s, here we go, the British Crown besieged Te Urewera, well done guys, congratulations, displacing her people through brutal scorched earth policy. Many who weren't murdered would die of starvation. Despite Tuho refusing to sign the Treaty of Waitangi, New Zealand's founding document defining regulations with Maori tribes, the Crown confiscated huge swathes of land, rancid. In 1954, the amalgamated land was enshrined as a national park, and Tuho holds out living in and around Te Urawura found themselves further locked out by environmental restrictions. Amazing. We're not just talking about physical dislocation, Kruger says, but also a spiritual, emotional, and intellectual disconnection. Livelihood, language, cuisine, poetry, music, dance, dreams, names, everything about the Tuho springs from this forest. In the 1970s, a tribunal was formed to address the New Zealand government's past treaty violations. After years of internal discussions among the Hapu, Kruger was appointed chief negotiator. Core to the fraught negotiations was the return of Te Urawura. Here we go. You ready for this? Move this away because I'm about to shout this one. The Crown admitted they had stolen it, he records. Tuho were not asking for, because they were bothered that the people would have owned the land. Tuho were not asking for a transfer of assets, which they should have done anyway. They saw Te Urawura as a living entity with its own manner, spiritual authority, and Maori life force. The rainforest belonged to itself. This idea is not a new invention, Kruger says. What is significant is that Parliament chose to acknowledge and backed it up by law. In 2014, Te Urawura was delisted as a national park to become the first ecosystem in the world recognised as having legal personhood. In the same way that a human being or corporation, pay attention here, my friends, that a corporation is treated in court. Right? People might think giving personhood to nature is silly. Well, a dead entity, a corporation, is given person rights. Why shouldn't a forest be given person rights? Te Urawura is imbued with the rights, powers, duties and liabilities of a legal person. A board of 8 Tuho representatives and 3 from the Department of Conservation, with a Tuho chair in perpetuity, speaks on her behalf. Love that. The rainforest is known as a her. Overseeing management based on what bush crews living in her 4 remote valleys observe and report. The Crown admitted the land was stolen. Okay? If they do it once, they can do it again. They stole this land. They've stolen 6.6 billion acres of land, and I seriously feel that there is grounds here to unite the people, go at them like the Maori did, and get them to admit what they've done. Because we are slaves to our conquerors, and they are living on quail and pheasant in their palace, when we should be able to get on with what we're here to do and get our land back. Okay? So, wanted to make sure I got that in with this live. We're at 21. I want to make sure we watch David before we finish. But this, very, very powerful. Okay? Very, very powerful. This is what I feel there is something here with regards to the political party, with regards to the legal personhood for Britain. So, Neil, you're absolutely right, my friend. I certainly feel there is cause here to explore this idea of if we are able to give Britain, look guys, I mean the globe. I'm here for the planet. I'm here for this entire planet. But there's something that we can do here. If we can prove it here, the rest of the world, I feel, will follow suit. If we can make it where the land has personal rights here in the United Kingdom, what are we able to then do? Right? And the people have had enough. Yeah? These are examples that we can use to unite the people. And that's what we're doing. 5.5, whatever it is, million views now. Yeah, it's working, guys. We're doing something very powerful here. So we're going to stop the slides there because that was as far as I got. There was a few other things, but we will overlap next week. So we like to overlap just to make sure we remember what we were talking about. Powerful. Absolutely powerful. I can absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm on it with this one. There was loads of comments. I really wanted to read them. I hope we've got time. David's meditation is... let me just double check here. Let me just come over and double check. David's meditation... Sorry. 3:50. 3:50. 4 minutes. So, okay, we got plenty of time. 3:50:09. 4 minutes. So we want to be doing that soon, because I want to chat with you guys afterwards. Neil says, this is interesting news, and I wonder what this could mean for our land here in the United Kingdom. I agree with you completely. Soul Coach Suzanne. Tom, look up Psychic Medium Holly Burns on YouTube. Vids in David 3 since late April. Others I follow overlap with Holly. Yep. Grateful for your soothing voice during meditations. Thank you, Raina. I appreciate you very much. Patty says, aka Nan, I'm trying so hard to figure out how to send a super chat for having a senior moment. Bless you, Patty. When I finally do, I'll send it retroactive. The time I forget. Well, Patty, bless you. If you go down to the chat, there should be 3 icons. If it's on your phone or on your computer, there should be a little icon that comes up with a little sort of dollar sign, and you can send a super chat there. That's really kind of you, though, Patty. If you can't, that's totally fine. You know, there's no pressure at all. I'm humbled that you even considering it. So thank you, Patty. I love you very much. Thank you for considering doing that. It should just be by the chat. You can click it, and I think it helps you do it from there. Breathe Light says, off topic, but I've been wondering what happened to David's cameras and equipment. Wouldn't it be great if James could have been gifted some of them? I mean, I'm desperate to upgrade this to 4K. Breathe Light, I mean, yeah, that would be lovely, but I don't know if their family has seen what we're doing. I don't know. I know Jude is subscribed to me. He's not mentioned anything, so it's okay. You know, we're doing what we're doing, and that's the main thing. Yelena, thank you so much for the donation. That's really sweet of you. You didn't have to. That's so kind of you, Yelena. That's really, really lovely for you to do. I appreciate you very, very much. That's really, really kind of you. Thank you, Yelena. Give you a little love heart there. Thank you for supporting me. It's honestly, I appreciate you all very much. You're very kind with your support for me. It's really, really appreciated, Yelena. Very lovely of you. All the love to you. All right then, guys. Gabriella says, I'm sure a lot of land and estates in the UK bestowed to the people have just been taken by the government or crown. Chequers estate for one. Now that's interesting. Mother or Annie, could you write that down, please? Chequers estate, land UK bestowed to the people have been taken by the government or crown. Can you just Google that? And Gabriella, are we on Facebook? Can you please send that to me as well? Do you have a link for it? Because I'd love to maybe include that. What time are we on? 3:25. All right, Yelena, I love you very much. Very much. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Very kind. We're going to go over to David. I want to chat with you guys before we go. Always do this, guys. Let's go over. And then let's...
And so we're going to cut right to our global peace meditation. We are still 3 hours and 49 minutes in, so we can keep it to under 4 hours. At least that's something. Okay, so I'd ask you again to put both feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. And, you know, I'm really up close now, so I got to look at my eyebrows. What is that? Okay, yeah, there's something. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. You got to keep a sense of humor about this. I really don't think anything bad is going to happen. So let's just use this meditation technology. We got enough people to change the future of humanity. Again, 7,000 people reduced war, terrorism, fatalities by 72% worldwide. We have almost that many right now just watching live, and we'll catch the rest on the replay. So this is going to work, folks. We can reduce the likelihood that these very scary things I just told you about could end up happening. Let's hope that happens. Scott Quick will just donate it. Thank you very much, Scott. So put both feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in. And then just let it go. Breathing into the peace, the sanctity, the joy of this moment. Feeling your breath rising and falling. Feeling the glorious prana. Seeing that we are heading into the New Jerusalem, the fifth root race, that we are in the global king's chamber, just like the Casey reading said. I'm back, others are back. We're all doing our part as a team to bring about the successful completion of humanity's ascension, the bride and the bridegroom, the wedding of flesh to spirit. Breathing ever more deeply, going now deeper into the silence, feeling the calm, the rejuvenation, the relaxation. Even though we're going through an initiation that looks very scary right now, we will soon all be in a very new reality. No more lies, no more deceit. The truth will be exposed. It will be broadcast to everyone's devices, even if we don't have regular internet. We'll be learning some things that are shocking, but we're also going to be set free. This will be the final liberation of humanity. We'll have to learn some things that we find very upsetting, but all is well. We are protected. We are kept safe in the midst of these very troubling times, very troubling circumstances. As we continue breathing, we breathe healing to the planet, the reduction of war tension, the cessation of conflict, and we ask for the healing of ourselves, that we learn to love ourselves. We learn to have boundaries and say no to those people who wish to rip our lives apart, wish to have us always apologizing and be criticized, telling us we're not good enough, we're not bright enough, we're not strong enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not thin enough, whatever it is. Lovingly setting boundaries, even if that means that we might end up 2 weeks from now cutting the cords. This is all part of the initiation. We are all in the King's Chamber. An initiation oftentimes is about letting go, purifying, removing toxins, and that includes toxic thought forms, toxic people, toxic governments, toxic situations. All coming into concrescence now as we're learning to become more loving, recognizing once again that we are the light, we are the love, we are the one infinite creator. And this is as it was, as it is now, and as it always shall be. Sending this healing light to all those in need of it, sending it to the planet, imagining the planet bathed in loving light, and send it to yourself. Breathe in this healing and accept it for what it is. Your own transfiguration is underway, the meeting of the bride and the bridegroom, and so it is. And now bring yourself back to the room, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. We again lost about 200 people, but that always happens. We still have enough to pull this off, to do the global healing. I want to thank you for being here. I'm David Wilcock. We're at 3 hours and 54 minutes. That's good enough. Let's read a few more of your comments in the last few seconds we have.
All right then, guys. I'm very, very sorry if I slightly rush us out of that meditation space. We've got 2 minutes left. 3 hours and 33 minutes is the time that we are finishing. So I want to share my love with all of you, my heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Nancy, Mother, Soul Coach Suzanne, Tom, Yelena, Zoichka, Prince Royal, Blah, Free Queen, Yelena, David, thank you very much for your kind words on the presentation. Appreciate you very much. So we're getting ready to end the live stream today, guys. I'm going to finish at 3 hours and 33 minutes. So Patty, Tree Dog, Asana, Neil, Gabriella, Lydia, Raina, everybody. Brizzy, oh, bless you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Thanks so much, James. I'm going to be rushing with all the love here. Thanks so much, James. So very much appreciated, as always. I can't like it. The comments are coming in too fast, guys. Thanks so much, James. So very much appreciated, as always. Reminding you of Fern Gully. Thank you, Annie. Mom, if you could write that down. And make sure you check out Mafra's latest. I will, absolutely. I'll save that, not just the tissues, but also for training too. So just know, guys, I love you all. We're doing something very powerful here. Joie de vie, Linla, Linda, Gail. If I haven't said in Bevy, Sands Motel, love you all. Thank you all for being here and for constantly coming back week after week to do what we're doing. You're wonderful souls. I'm so grateful to know you. I'm grateful to know that you're here on this planet with me doing what we're doing. You know, I love these conversations with you. It's interesting, it's inspiring, it's empowering. You're all, you know, we're doing this. We're one way or another, we're doing this. Thank you, David. We love you, brother. All that you've ever done for us for so many years. You know, we're carrying it on. We're lighting our torch from yours. Tom, everybody, appreciate you all, my friends. We're going to be coming offline just shortly. Thank you for all the time donations you've given me, the financial donations you've given me. You've spent your precious earthly time with me, with us. It can't be understated. You're all lovely. I love you all. I'll schedule the live at some point tomorrow, and we're going to see you again next week. Take care, guys. Love you all. See you on the